temperatures as well. We're looking at 50 degrees here at 12:30. So if you've got the kiddos planning on doing any trick-or-treating tonight, I believe it should be nice and dry for them. They might need the winter coat added to their costume. I know I was never too excited about that myself growing up in the Midwest when my mom would say, you got to wear the winter coat, and I didn't think it went with the costume. But I think they'll be happier in the long run if they have that on. Hey, we've got a lot of exciting things coming up for you here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. In just a few minutes, we're chatting live with one of the stars of Les Miserables, which is currently playing at the Marcus Center. And then coming up in a little bit, we'll have our first live guest right here in the Wisconsin Live Desk office. Or closet, as I lovingly call it. But first, actually, I was just monitoring the feeds, and I want to get us out to this press conference that the Jamaican Embassy is actually putting on right now in Washington, D.C., just providing the latest update on Hurricane Melissa. Obviously, our hearts are still in the Caribbean, so let's go ahead and listen in.
The first responders who are out there can't get to everyone yet. But because you haven't heard doesn't mean that the person is necessarily harmed or injured. And I understand fully the sort of concerns people have, necessarily so. And each day it gets more concerned. Hence I said we don't have the luxury of time. But as we get moving, and some people have managed to find out more, and I would ask that people share, and that's what they've been doing down there. So one person gets out, and then we know more about it. So that's it. It's a high priority for us. Initially, it's going to be limited to how we can respond to that. We will discuss later on about how we can just get a platform to take requests. The thing is that we recognize that it's going to be limited, how quickly we can respond to that. So we would manage expectations in that regard. As first responders get out, as our military reaches in different areas, they cleared roads yesterday. Another 30 kilometers was cleared. We're going to ensure that there's a road coming from Savlamar to Black River, for those who know where that is. That's in the south and west of the country. Those roads are being opened up. Once we get that, then we have to go into the hinterland to find out where people are. So I know people are concerned about their loved ones, and many, many calls have come into the mission on that, but it's limited, our response now. I suspect as we get the Starlinks out, as our police get more access, we'll be pushing the information back so that people are aware that their loved ones are okay. So I know people are concerned. I know there is that nervousness that over days becomes, more burdensome on you. But it does not mean that there's something wrong other than that they are cut off from communicating. 70% of the country is out of electricity, and that the build-back process of that will take some time. In the areas that the grid is actually intact, the public service company is busy restoring power where it is not restored. Obviously, where the eye passed, the infrastructure is broken. So that's part of that is going to be a rebuild. And to that extent, we are happy that some of our electrical partners across the world are reaching out to see how they can support our electric company, our electricity company. So that's going on as well at the same time.
All right, if you're just joining us, we've been listening in on this press conference coming out of the Jamaican Embassy in D.C. as they talk about the road to recovery after Hurricane Melissa, of course, hit Jamaica as a Category 5 storm earlier this week, causing just catastrophic damage. It's going to take a while to get things back up and running there, so I appreciate that quick update coming out of D.C. I do want to switch gears back to Milwaukee here, taking another live look where you can see Lake Michigan is just a shining star right now this afternoon. It is a bit chilly, so I would imagine you're not going to want to be on the lake today, but still a beautiful Friday afternoon. And if you're looking for something to do in Milwaukee, I think you should maybe go to the theater this weekend. Les Miserables is in town. They are playing at the Marcus Center And we are so lucky here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. We're actually being joined by Nick Cartel, who plays Jean Valjean. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Wild Desk.
Thank you so much for having me this afternoon.
Of course. Okay, so I feel like, Les Miserables, such a classic, but if somebody out there hasn't seen or heard of the show before, what's it all about?
It is a story of love, redemption, sacrifice, truly a story of survival of the human spirit. My character gets out of prison after 19 years for stealing a loaf of bread, and he's met with a bishop that shows him sacrifice and he sets his life on a completely different course. And it truly becomes a story of my character and all of the people that he comes in contact with, and how one act of redemption really sets his life, and how he interacts with all of those different people, how it sets off their lives. And it is this epic story that now has been running on the West End for over 40 years, and we are just excited to be back here in Milwaukee to tell that story on the Marcus Center stage.
Yeah, you talk about history with the show. You've got quite a bit of history as well. 1,500 performances is what I read. What about
Yes.
this role has really just kept you intrigued and interested for so long?
Well, I think that, Victor Hugo wrote this incredible novel, and this character that is so written so richly. And then not only that, then you have our incredible, composers and authors in Claude Michel Schoenberg and Alain Boublil, who crafted this incredible musical. And so to be able to dig into this character and still find new things every single night is what keeps it fresh. And then also the audiences, they are such a integral part of telling this story every single night. And so to be able to combine all of those elements and to bring that on stage, it is what keeps it fresh for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, I actually had a coworker this morning come over to my desk because he knows I'm a little bit of a theater lover, because he just wanted to brag. He got to see y'all's opening night on Tuesday, and he was blown away. So we chatted about the show a little bit. I just think it's one of those legacy shows where everyone wants to see it. You feel so lucky to be in the room when it's going on. I feel like this might be a hard question, but do you have a favorite song in the show?
Yes, I totally do. I get to sing Bring Him Home, which is also called The Prayer, every night. And, my character spends so much time running and lifting people and doing so much during the show that it is a moment that I just get to sit. And I get this moment of stillness on the barricade, and I get to sing this song with this glorious orchestra every night. And it truly is my moment to just sit and connect with this story, and also think about the sacrifices that this character would make for his daughter Cosette, his adopted daughter Cosette, in the show. And I can think about it. Really brings it full circle for me because I have a 5-year-old daughter of my own, my daughter Sullivan, and I can think about the sacrifices that I would make for her. And so it brings it really a full circle moment for me, and so it truly is my favorite moment every single night.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of the songs, this is a show that is entirely sung. So I'm just curious, how do you keep your voice healthy? You got to use it every day.
Every night. So it's a lot of water, it's a lot of sleep, it's a lot of steaming, working out, eating right. And then it's a lot of warming up. We work for 3 hours a night, but it truly is an all-day process of making sure that we are warming up throughout the day to make sure that we are giving 100% on that stage every single night. And it is part of our job to make sure that we are giving everything that we can to our audiences every single night, and it is a joy to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the same wavelength of this being a show that is entirely sung, sometimes I feel like I hear people say it's only a show for the musical theater lovers. We're gonna disagree, but tell me why.
I think that this is a show that is something that crosses boundaries across not only musical theater lovers, but it is also for the people that maybe have never been into a musical before. It is because our show has a very cinematic feel. Our directors, James Powell and Lawrence Connor, really wanted to make it more of a cinematic look. So we use projections in our show. There's never a moment where we truly go to a blackout. So one scene kind of fades into the next scene, and you get that feeling that you are actually pretty much watching a movie on stage, but we are live performers right in front of you. And so the not only do you feel like you are part of our story when you are marching down the streets of Paris at the end of the show, at the end of Act One during One Day More, but you're experiencing marching through, walking through the sewers when I'm carrying Marius. And it truly is one of those things that if you have never been to a musical before, I invite you to come and experience this story with us because you will walk away feeling inspired, feeling uplifted. And I think that it will spark something in you that you will go, I never knew what musical theater could do before.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so you take us to the streets of Paris, but we are bringing you to Milwaukee. What are your
Yes.
thoughts so far on the Cream City?
So this is my fourth time playing Milwaukee, and I absolutely love being here. I've already gotten my cheese curds. And also to be here, this truly is, for our company, this is our first hint of fall. And everybody is already breaking out their jackets. They're breaking out their boots. Everybody is like breaking out their scarves. We all love it already. And we're already excited for Halloween today. We're doing a little trick-or-treating with the kids that are in our company a little bit later on this afternoon. So we're so excited to be here.
Oh, I love that. I was gonna say, this is actually probably like the best time to be in Milwaukee. A few months later, might be a little frigid, but right now, 50 degrees, it's beautiful.
That is true.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Wisconsin Live Desk. Of course, you can catch Nick and the rest of the cast of Les Miserables at the Marcus Center through Sunday, and you're not going to want to miss it. But thanks so much for taking the time to chat.
Thanks so much for having me this afternoon.
Of course, such a good show. I mean, I feel like every time you go see Les Mis, you're reminded just how iconic that score is. They have so many amazing and beautiful songs. So if you have time this weekend, go and check that one out at the Marcus Center. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here on the Wisconsin Live Desk, and when we come back for the first time ever, we're going to have a live guest. We're going to see how this goes, you guys. It's an experiment, and we're all in it together. We'll be right back.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk. We both fit in the closet. We're also actually almost a similar height.
Yeah.
We worked out well because you're 6'2",
6'2".
5'3". You would never know at home. We're fooling you so well. I'm joined right now with Brady Keiss. He is from Milwaukee.
Born and raised.
You're a party animal.
I am. Yeah.
Which we want to start off with. Can you tell us the difference between the party animals and the Savannah Bananas? Because I know people get confused.
Yeah, so we play the same game. We're both in Banana Ball, but we're two different teams. We wear black and pink. They wear yellow.
Yeah. Black and pink is obviously the better color combination.
Definitely. Yeah.
You and I were talking because I have gotten to see a Banana Ball game in Savannah. And from the very first entrance of the party animals, they came from the outfield. They were running in. They had some fireworks. I said, that's my team.
Oh, yeah. We're the life of the party. Right when we come in to the end of the game, we are bringing the party. We're bringing the fun.
Yeah, I love this. Okay, so you are a relief pitcher
Yes.
for the party animals. How does a guy from Milwaukee get on the party animals?
Yeah, so my roommate in college, he came back in 2023. The Bananas came to Milwaukee. They played in Franklin, and so I went and saw him. He was like, "Hey, come throw a bullpen. My season just got done." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't really think that's for me." But I've never seen the game. He was like, "Hey, just come check it out." Went and did that. I saw the game. I fell in love, and I was like, "I want to be a part of it. Anything I can do."
Absolutely. And you guys do have a lot of fun. We have some of your TikToks here that are going to play from this one to some of your on-the-field moments. What makes Banana Ball different?
Man, everything. From the time you get to the field to the time you leave, you will experience something you've probably never experienced before at a sporting event. We're having fun. We're dancing. There's singing, music. Everything is completely different than what you've probably seen at a normal baseball game.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts is y'all play by a different set of rules. Can you walk me through some of the Banana Ball rules?
Yeah, so we have 11 different rules. Some of the really big cool ones that a lot of people like is the fan caught foul ball. So if a foul ball is hit into the stands and you catch it, the batter's out. Great for being a pitcher. Not so good if you're one of those hitters out there. Another one is no walks. Nobody likes to walk. So we have a ball four sprint. 4 balls, everybody on the field has to touch the ball, and the runner gets to run as far as they want.
But, I mean, as soon as you all touch it, if they have a chance to be out at second if they try and go there.
We can take them out once every player on the field touches the ball.
And there's a science behind that. The first time I got to see that live in person, everybody knew their place. They all were running in, getting the ball. They touched it. He was just on first, which I think is the goal.
That is.
In a
Keep
moment
him at
like
first
that.
base.
So you were just talking a little bit about the foul ball being caught. Do you ever get frustrated if, like, a party animal is batting and then you see a party animal fan catch it? There's got to be some strategy here.
It definitely happens, especially when we were playing the Bananas in big stadiums where not everybody anymore, but a lot of people are wearing yellow, and you see someone in yellow catch one when the Bananas are hitting. There's a lot of boos that happen, and some of the faces of the fans, it's pretty funny to see.
Okay, so another part, and it doesn't happen often, but when y'all go to extras, there's some crazy rules there.
Oh,
Have you ever been on the mound for that?
I have.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, so there's been a couple times that we call it the showdown. So we don't call it extra innings. It's a little bit different than what you're used to in a normal baseball game. Banana Ball, we have showdowns. It's hitter versus pitcher, and depending on the situation, we have one fielder out there as well. Once they hit the ball, they have to run all the way around the bases, or the pitcher gets to take them out before that.
Yeah, I feel like it's always just, I get nervous. You want your team to win, and I would never want to be alone out there on a huge baseball field.
It's definitely nerve-wracking, but as a pitcher, those are the positions that you want to be in. One-on-one, I think I'm going to beat the hitter.
I love that. We talked a lot about Banana Ball. Quickly, let's talk a little about, I mean, you're a Wisconsin guy.
Oh, yeah.
Where did we grow up? Where did we play? Walk me through all that.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Milwaukee. I went to Greendale High School, played hockey and football for Greendale. Then I went and moved out to Georgia, went to school, finished at Columbus State University in Columbus, Georgia, but have always come back to Milwaukee. All my family's here. It's a great place to be.
And you were telling me growing up, baseball wasn't like your number one sport. So when did this change for you?
As I got older, baseball, being a left-handed pitcher, it helps being a lefty in baseball, and I got a scholarship offer for baseball, and that's kind of once once colleges got in the mix, that's kind of when I made the switch to go more into baseball.
Yeah. Okay, so another really exciting part about Banana Ball are the trick plays.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can juggle.
I can.
We have actually a clip of one of your trick plays here. We'll restart. Walk me through what you did on the mound here.
Yeah, so this is one of our first weekends. We're in Arizona playing, and I was like, something different that I know how to juggle, and I don't know if it's been done on the mound or not. I know we have one of our entertainment pitchers, Matt Wolf, for the Firefighters. He does some crazy things on the mound. I was like, you know what? I can juggle. I can do two things in one hand. Might as well try it with my glove. And I tried it out, and we got the out. Looked pretty cool doing it, I think.
It does look pretty cool. I would have dropped it, and then I don't know what would have happened. Is it a balk if you drop it there?
So there really is no box in Banana Ball. Once my leg lifted, if I would have dropped it, I think there would, that's a good question.
Yeah.
We'd have to figure that out.
We'll get an answer to that one. Do you have a favorite moment from being you've been a party animal for 2 seasons. Do you have a favorite moment besides traveling the country, really?
I can't pick out one moment that stands out. I like to say that after the games, we have our plaza parties. We get to meet the fans, talk to the fans, sign autographs, and hear about the stories that they enjoyed about the games that we get to put on. And those are some special moments.
Obviously, a big part of Banana Ball is dancing.
Definitely.
Does dancing come naturally to you?
No.
Okay.
No. My sister was the dancer in the family. I am not a dancer. But, we're all doing it out there. We're all having fun doing it. And it's, sometimes you make a fool of yourself, sometimes you don't, and people laugh, so it's good.
Should we make a fool of ourselves on the Wisconsin Live Desk?
We sure can.
Okay, so what's a dance movement we can do?
As with the party animals, have you ever heard of Party Rock?
Uh-huh.
So Party Rock Anthem, that's what we do. Our first run scoring celebration is the Party Rock Anthem.
Okay.
So we go with our right arm.
Okay.
We go 2 to the right.
2 to the right.
2 to the left.
2 to the left.
And then we go 4 in the middle.
4 in the middle.
And we do it 4 times.
All right, we'll just do it twice.
There we go.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
2 to the right, 2 to the left, 4 in the middle. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 4 in the middle.
Okay, can I be a party animal?
You
that
can.
wasn't that
You
bad.
just did.
I mean, how do I audition?
Pretty easy, right? Yeah, so there is tryouts that we have. There is
Also, the theater girl in me, I said audition. It would definitely be a tryout. You are right.
So the best thing you could do if you want to be a part of Banana Ball, if you want to try out, we have entry forms that you can go on the Banana Ball website, fill out the questionnaire, and then someone should be in contact with you.
Okay, so Milwaukee can also help you.
Yes,
Each year you got to get redrafted. We have a fan draft that ends
in a couple hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Math is hard for me. How do we help you out, Brady?
Yeah, so
what do we got to do?
This year is going to be a different type of thing that we've never done before. First year that we're having fans be able to vote to be able to stay on this next team. Until 7 p.m. Central Time, you're able to vote online for the players that you want to keep on each team. So we have 4 teams that were in the season last year, and you can vote for me to stay on the Party Animals for next year. And we're playing in American Family Field, and it's always been a dream of mine to play here in Milwaukee, and you can help me out.
Yeah, we want to get to see you at AmFam.
Definitely.
It's so easy. You just got to vote. I was saying to you, because I went and I did it for Brady last night. It's very easy to do, but I have to vote for each team.
Yeah.
So just pick some random names if we don't know the team?
Yeah, I would say pick some random names. Everybody's great out there. We're all having fun, and everybody loves doing it. So if you can pick my name, that'd be great. If you don't want to pick my name, it's okay.
No, Brady,
But
it's not okay.
I would love your support.
Delaney, are you on your phone right now voting for Brady?
I am.
She said she is.
Thank you.
Okay, that's what we wanted to hear.
Appreciate that.
I was going to throw out some of my favorite players maybe to help.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Brady
definitely.
loves all of them.
Definitely.
I was going to say for the Savannah Bananas, your roommate, DR
Meadows.
who he always does some crazy backflip
He
catches.
can do some backflips, yeah. He's one of a kind.
Jackson Olson, I feel like people might know him.
People definitely
know. He does well on the social media. My 10-year-old brother Logan loves Coach Rack.
Coach Rack.
And then my friend Lauren loves Dalton Malden.
Oh, the Songbird.
Yes, he's a singer.
Songbird
See,
of
they're
our
all
generation.
multi-talented. With Brady, the Party Animals, my other vote would go to Tanner Thomas.
Tanner Thomas.
Which I was saying with Tanner, when I was in Savannah, he was my donut player. Explain this.
Yeah, so when you're the away team going against the Bananas, they have the donut batter of the game, where if you strike out and you're the donut batter, they throw donuts in the crowd. that you can catch.
Literally, they throw these donuts on the field, and you just go, donut.
Yeah.
So then I felt bad because I was like, I kind of like the guy, but
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him to strike out.
Did he strike out?
He did. He did. I left, and I got a Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
There you go.
So I was like, thank you, Tanner, for my donut the next day.
Exactly.
And then
There
I
you
think
go.
he did get on base another time, so
He
it worked out well.
He does get on base a lot.
I just meant in that game.
Right.
Of course,
Just
Tanner
that
gets
one.
on base.
Oh
more.
yeah, he's a good player.
Just that one time. Okay, wait. We have photos of you on the mound. There's the pink uniform.
Yeah.
There's the black uniform. Do you have a favorite?
Mine has to be the black. I think it's really clean. The pink is great because we're sleeveless.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our uniforms are sleeveless. You could see in the black one, I roll them up. This one right now, it's not rolled up. Can't show off the guns, you know.
Yeah. You're
but-
probably regretting that because the
Yeah.
Wisconsin Live desk closet can get a little warm.
You're right.
Welcome to the
exactly.
sauna is what I should have told you.
But the black I think is really clean. We have a lot of cool uniforms. All of Banana Ball has some great uniforms out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching a video of an interview that you did where you talked about one time having an embarrassing moment on the field. You were doing a dance. You couldn't pitch. You had some cramps.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about this.
Yeah, so we were in, I want to say Reno, Nevada, and I was doing, we have a thing called the 6-2-2 where we're going to do a dance in the 6th inning, and I was that pitcher that was going to do that dance on the mound. I was practicing. I wanted to nail it. Practicing too much while I was warming up, and went out there. I started cramping in my side, and I got the first two guys out, but I could not find the strike zone after that dance. So I went and called our shortstop in, and he came in and shut the door.
Was he like, what's going on? Or was he like, I got you?
He's pitched before,
Okay.
so he knew, but he definitely was like, what is going on? I don't think I've ever done it middle of the inning.
Yeah, there you go. It's always something different, though.
Yeah,
I'm sure
definitely.
the fans loved it in that moment of like, they probably thought it was planned.
Yeah, I don't really know. Our announcer and everybody was like, what is going
What's
on?
happening?
Everybody was kind of confused, but
Yeah.
we got out of it.
Okay, so we know you want to play at AmFam next June. That's why we're going to vote for you today, keep you as a party animal, because it's the Party Animals and a new team that you're playing.
Yes, we're going to play the Loco Beach Coconuts.
I'm proud of you for getting that right. I would have failed there. But you've played at other huge ballparks throughout the country. Is there a favorite one that stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple cool stadiums. I would say all the stadiums we played at are very cool.
Of course.
But memorable for me, I would say St. Louis was really cool. Cardinal Stadium.
I'm about to tell you to leave. You
I
know I'm a
I
Cubs
know.
fan.
And I'm a Brewers fan. So being able to see I got to see the Cardinals play here a lot. Got to see Adam Wainwright. I saw him pitch here at AmFam Field a lot, and I got to meet him there when we were in St. Louis.
That's
So that was
cool.
really cool to see that stadium. The Braves Stadium was really cool. That is just it's one of the newer ballparks out there, so that was a nice place to play. And then also Clemson, playing in the football stadium with 81,000 people was something incredible.
That's the largest banana ball game?
Yes,
Is that
so
still
far,
the case?
so far last year, that was the biggest crowd that we've had.
Okay, so then I would imagine if you go to a game like that and you are at like the top row of Death Valley, how do you still keep them engaged in a baseball game that might be far away from them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talk about that before games all the time, is how can we make the fan that's the furthest away still be engaged in the game? And so we have cast, we have different players running around the stadium throughout the entire game to make sure every single fan feels important and feels a part of the game.
I love that. Okay, so since you're from Milwaukee, what are some of your favorite places to go when you're in town?
Oh man, there's a couple places that I like to go. Coaches is a place on I think 13th that we go for chicken wings. My grandpa goes there a lot.
Love that.
Tacos he goes there for too. I go to the Panther Pub in Greendale. That's a good place. That's a local place. Maddie's Bar and Grill, also in New Berlin.
He's just throwing
Go
out
there,
some of
too.
these nice, fan
There's
favorites.
Some good chicken wings. I'm really big into chicken wings. So
I'm picking up on
kinda-
that.
That's kind of what I go for.
I love that. Okay, so we know you're a Brewers fan. Do you kind of fall in line with Wisconsin? What are your other allegiances?
Oh, yeah. So I am a major Packer fan, big time Packer fan. I'm actually going to the game Monday Night Football against the Eagles, so I'll be there. If you see me, say hi. Be there with a couple other party animals. They're coming into town from across the country to see the Packers.
Are they rooting for the Packers or the Eagles?
They are also big Packer fans.
Okay.
So it was cool to see that I have a couple buddies that are also big Packer fans. And also the Bucs. I love the Bucs. Was actually at the championship game that they when they won the title. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool. I was going to say, we were talking, I'm from Chicago. We don't talk about it a ton on the Wisconsin Live Desk. I obviously do go Cubs and Bears, but I am a Bucks fan as of this season. And I got to go into Giannis's locker before the home opener and hold his jersey that he wore that night. And since then, he's kind of been on fire.
Yeah.
So I feel like it might have had something to do with
Yeah,
me.
the Bucks are playing well.
They are. They are. All right, cool. I mean, anything else you want to talk about Banana Ball, getting your votes in for Brady?
You got till 7 o'clock tonight to get those votes in. Every vote counts. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of course. And remind us why you really want to stay on the Party Animals, because otherwise you're going to be entered into the draft.
I want to stay on the Party Animals because I want to. It's like I said, it's been a dream to play at American Family Field. Not only that, I love the team, the Party Animals. I feel like the last 2 years being with them, I've been able to help grow the brand a little bit, and we just love the party.
Oh, Brady, how do we follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's all Brady Keiss. TikTok is a little different. You can type in Brady Keiss, or it's SwaggyB2K.
Okay, what was the inspiration behind that handle?
It's something that it's, right when I got into Banana Ball with the visitors, the developmental team, one of the guys was like, I came in with an outfit on, and it was like, oh, it's pretty swaggy. And then a couple other guys said it, and it kind of just stuck. And then I had an exit meeting, and the coach was like,
You're Swaggy B?
Swaggy B. And I was like, that's me.
That's you. That's you on TikTok, at least.
That is me on TikTok.
Do you have a favorite TikTok trend that you've done?
I would say the first TikTok that kind of went viral, I don't know if you'd say viral for me, was the one that you have is the one in Cleveland where I was dancing the Bye 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 song.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that was fun to see one of those dances and actually learn it. That was probably the longest dance I learned at that point. And so I was pretty proud of it.
You could pull that out for Halloween tonight.
Yeah.
You could go and do the dance, and it would be perfect, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if I remember it because I've done a lot of dances since then. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good one.
You also occasionally do an Elvis
Yes,
impression.
I
Would
have
you
done Elvis.
like to do that on the Wisconsin Live Desk?
Do you want to see the hips, or you want to? I had a lot of stuff going on with Elvis. It was like, thank you very much.
That was great. I did not tell him I was going to ask for that. That was very spur of the moment there.
Yeah, it was fun. I did a walkout in Texas, and I was full Elvis get up. I pitched in a full Elvis suit. I had the chops, and they were real. I can grow them out a little bit.
Wow, they were real.
But
he was committed.
Some people thought they were fake, and they were real.
We're here to make sure we get the facts on Wisconsin Live Desk.
Exactly.
They were real. A lot of work, I imagine, goes into those walk-up moments.
Yeah.
Are you ever worried that you're going to blow it?
Yeah, definitely. There was one when we were at LSU. I got put into one, and I had to lip sync. And right when the music started, I couldn't really hear the music, and so I just completely missed every single line. We kept going, got through it. I remember the dance, so that was good.
Proud of you. I was going to say, I have gained a lot of respect. I was Lizzie McGuire for Halloween last weekend,
Nice.
so I was lip syncing to What Dreams Are Made Of. And I was like, I can't hear this. You got to go off memory.
There you go.
So when you guys nail it, that's an impressive skill set.
Can you sing it now?
Well, I was lip syncing, so obviously not pretty. But you can go to my Instagram. There is a clip of me
There you go.
living out my Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of moment.
Nice.
Do you have a Halloween? Are you just going to go as a party animal?
No, so I don't know what I'm gonna go as for Halloween. Me and my wife were gonna do Harry Potter, and she was
Yes.
gonna go as the Golden Snitch, and I was gonna go as Harry Potter. So that was gonna be fun. Some of the stuff with when the costumes were getting here didn't get
it
here
didn't
in
work.
time.
Okay.
So
So now we're going to come up with something new.
yeah, exactly.
I like that. My dog and I went as Harry Potter one year.
Nice.
It's on my Instagram story right
Nice.
now.
Big
yeah.
Harry Potter fan.
I love
Harry
that.
Potter.
Yeah. I went as Cedric Diggory, technically, because I
Nice.
love Robert Pattinson.
Nice.
The more you know. This is why we
Yeah.
tune into the Wisconsin Live Desk. You can learn so much about Haley and about Brady. Of course, voting ends at 7 p.m. Go and click on Brady, and then click on some other names if you don't know them, and get the votes in.
Yes,
So we want
please
Brady
do
to
so.
stay a party animal. And if you do, you're going to join us again in time before
Yeah,
the game.
definitely. Oh yeah, I'll be back.
There we go. We got a plan. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Brady.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the Wisconsin Live Desk.
the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk. It is Haley here with you at almost 1:10. We're kind of cruising along this afternoon together. But suddenly I feel like it's disappointing that it's just me in here. That was so fun getting to have Brady join us in the Wisconsin Live Desk sauna, which is what I'm going to rename this room because it does get a little bit toasty, you guys. But please go and vote for him. How cool for a Milwaukee native to get to play at AmFam next June. It's a very easy process. I went and did it yesterday. I'll actually put it on my Instagram story in a little bit so you guys can go and vote if you need the link, or it's on Brady's Instagram story as well. But you do have to fill out 3 names for every team, which I know might be hard if you don't know some of the other teams. So just pick 3 names that Brady's can go through and we can submit him and hopefully fan draft him. We'll keep you in the know. We'll follow that because the draft does end tonight for the fans. And then the other draft will happen a little bit later on. So we'll keep our eye on that. But it is Halloween. Happy Halloween. We've got some Halloween information for all of you guys in case you need it. As a reminder, Halloween headquarters is available right now on FOX6Now.com or inside the Fox Local mobile app, which is where you might be tuning in from. Make sure and head there if you need any trick-or-treat times, if you maybe want to hit up a haunted house and you need some suggestions, or maybe you still need some last-minute costume items. Maybe you're like Brady and your costume kind of fell through. Now you're looking for something new. You can go to FOX6Now.com and we'll help you figure all of that out. At some point, Delaney, I want to see if we can actually get our producer, Savannah, to come in, because I think she's got a great last-minute Halloween costume.
Her costume is so cute.
It's so cute, and I feel like it's so doable with the items you have in your closet.
Yeah, super simple.
Yeah, we'll see if
really
she
cute.
can join us in a little bit. Maybe after the next commercial break, we'll holler and see if she'll come show off her outfit for us.
Yeah, show her outfit.
Yeah, because that's always good. I was also going to go over some Halloween safety tips while I have you guys here. Remember, when you go out, it is almost daylight saving, which means it's getting darker earlier. You should really be visible in your costume. So maybe choose a light colored costume if you can, or add reflective tape. This is not when you want to be in dark colors. You want to make it easy to see, so any cars that might be out driving, they see you and they make sure and leave you a lot of safe space. Maybe add some light up option too as well. If you're going as a princess, maybe you could have like a light up wand, you know, anything to make sure that you're visible to those around you. Also always suggested to use the spots that are really meant for pedestrians. That would be the sidewalks, the crosswalks. Make sure you follow traffic signals. Wait for it to tell you that you can walk. Just make sure and stay safe, because everyone wants to have a fun Halloween, and of course getting hurt would be the opposite of that. And then just another reminder is to stay alert and stay off your phone while you are walking or supervising kids. I know this might be tricky because it is so cute to see kids in their Halloween costumes, but if you are walking, please, please, please make sure and not to have your phone out. Make sure your eyes are on the kids. And then once you get like off the road and they're going up to trick or treat, grab a video, because those are obviously core memories that you want to have when your kids are growing up. So wanted to make sure and mention that. Of course, a big question is always, what is the weather going to be like when it comes to trick or treating? We do have a trick or treat forecast for you, which our very own Lisa Michaels came all the way back to the station just to put up for us. So I want to say thank you to her. She dressed up as a rainbow this morning and on the Wisconsin Weather Expert. So go and check out her costume if you missed it. But it looks like 4 p.m., 6 p.m., nice and dry, which is most of the trick-or-treating times would fall around that. It is a little bit chilly, 52 degrees, 49 degrees. When you get to 8, oof, the temperature is going to drop to the point where I'm too cold. And there's also the chance for some showers, which we can show you a little bit on the radar. You can see it moving in there. It's kind of above the lacrosse area right now. So just make sure if you're heading out the door that you are prepared for that rain later on this evening. I think do we have trick-or-treat times, Delaney? I found it. We do. Let me pull that up as well. These are really important for when you can go out and get some candy. We have obviously Mequon there, 5 to 8. Cudahy, 5 to 8. Racine, 5 to 7. And Milwaukee, this is important, 5:30. So make sure you're not going out too early, and that's to 7:30. But again, it is going to get colder the later it goes, so I would probably recommend going out as close as you can to those trick-or-treat starting times. But my goodness, I just get so excited thinking about trick-or-treating and dressing up. I mean, that was the most fun thing to do growing up, of course. So I want to see, let's bring in actually our producer, Delaney. Delaney, do you miss being able to trick-or-treat?
I do. That was always so fun.
Yes. I don't know. I think sometimes I think about it and it's like the most wild concept that we just like go up to strangers' doors and get candy, but you don't question it as a kid and it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I guess you don't think about it that way, but yeah, it's a ton of fun. You get to be with all your friends.
Yes. Sometimes maybe you've like collaborated on your costumes so they all look together. Sometimes you're all so unique and different. I mean, I'm older and I had so much fun getting to dress up as Lizzie McGuire at Disney last week. And part of those Halloween parties is they give you a bag and you get to trick or treat. And I was just like,
that's so fun.
it like healed my inner child. I don't know. I said so
Very
much
nostalgic.
fun. Yes.
Yeah.
So nostalgic. I feel like I've asked you this before and you didn't have an answer. So I'm hoping you maybe put some thought into it. But do you have a favorite Halloween costume from growing up?
I definitely think when I was Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, I loved the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I had to wear a coat, which kind of ruined the
Did you have
costume.
Toto?
But yeah, just a little stuffed dog.
That's so cute. You know, that would be a really good costume to bring out now because
It would be.
Wicked coming out next month, having a moment.
Yeah, it is. It would be a good costume this year. I think there'll be a lot of people in Wicked costumes.
I think we're going to see a lot of Glindas and a lot of Elphabas, but I did hear that Dorothy making an appearance in the movie.
I did hear that.
So,
I'm excited.
I'm excited. We'll have to go.
We will.
I mean, I already have tickets, but you can come with me.
Thank you.
While I have you, shall we do question of the day?
Let's do it.
Okay, so it's obviously Halloween. So I know for some people, their favorite like Halloween tradition might be putting on a movie. So question of the day today, what is your favorite Halloween movie?
I think Halloween Town. I don't know if it's considered a Halloween movie, but I also love Coraline.
Oh my gosh, Delaney, that is so creepy.
It was such a good movie.
I don't know if
But
I
I
could
think
do
Halloween Town is really good too.
Yeah, I saw Halloween Town for the very first time, I think last year. I did not grow up watching a ton of Halloween movies, but I did just confirm there's 4.
Okay, I thought there was only 3.
We thought 3, we thought 5. Of course, the answer's in the middle. There are 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We asked Brady before he left. He said Halloween Town. What else did he say? He had 2.
Halloween Town Calabar's Return. Did he have that one?
I don't know.
I don't remember what he said.
Oh, no, I meant like he said 2 movies. But I like that you gave us the name of Halloween Town 2.
And then, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Maybe
Hocus Pocus.
I feel
But
like
he had said, I thought he didn't see that one.
No, that's
But he said
Andrew.
it was popular.
That's Andrew. We've been asking a lot of our coworkers the same question. Andrew Muzu has not seen Hocus Pocus. Neither have I. But we'll focus
Also
on
a
Andrew.
good Halloween movie.
Yeah, I think my favorite is Twitches.
That's a classic.
Have you watched Twitches?
Yeah.
That stars Tia and Tamara Mowry, and they're these sisters who were adopted at birth to different families, and they maybe find their way together on their birthday, which is Halloween, and they might have special powers.
It's a good movie.
It is. I'm trying to remember the storyline of the sequel, and I'm really struggling.
I can't remember the sequel.
But I can remember the first one vividly, which usually means the first one was better.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, so you prepared some trivia for us today. Let's see how this goes. They're all Halloween themed. True or false? Oh, no. 16% of people dress up their pets. I think it's more. I'm going to go false.
This one is true. It's only 16. It
What?
feels low. I feel like a lot of people dress up their pets, but like we've tried to dress my dog up. She hates it. She does not like it. So
we
maybe
did.
people try and then it just doesn't work out.
We did talk about this yesterday on the Wisconsin Live Desk. Zobrist tolerates it but doesn't enjoy it. I just feel like more and more people have dogs instead of children. And so I do feel like they're dressing up their dogs for Halloween. So I'm a little surprised. Only 16.
I know, I am too.
When was this number where did this come from? She's about to tell me 2017.
No, I don't know. It just came from National Today, where we look up our national days.
I want to fact check that one. I feel like it's probably gone up, but we'll see. All right, next true or false question. On average, people spend $100 on decorations, candy, and costumes. That's got to be more. I'm going to go false.
This one is false, but it's actually less. People only spend around $86.
What?
Yeah. If you're not buying a brand new costume or you have stuff laying around the house, then
Okay,
that's not
no
that
one has ever
expensive.
gone into Home Goods for decorations and not left spending more than $100. I mean, I got it right, so I'm not mad.
Yeah, I don't know. That one feels weird too.
Okay.
But that's what they're saying.
They spend less. I just feel like even when you're building your own costume, it's like those little purchases on Amazon, they add up. But this is very interesting to me, Delaney.
It is, yeah.
The more you know.
Right?
Do you have Halloween plans tonight?
I might go with one of my friends to take her niece out trick-or-treating.
Oh, fun.
But otherwise, I don't know. Maybe I'll just watch a Halloween movie.
I think I'm going to put Hocus Pocus on.
It's a good one.
But also I was going to watch the World Series, which I don't think we have our full screen for, Delaney. I don't know. Do you see it? I don't see it. Either way, I can tell you that it's on Fox tonight. Pre-game coverage starts at 6. Oh, it's not what I was expecting. Was that always in there, Delaney?
Yeah, it was always in there.
I was expecting the one with the Dodgers logo and the Blue Jays logo. A little behind the scenes in chat right there for you on the Wisconsin Live Desk. But of course, the Blue Jays, the game is back in Toronto. It's their home field advantage. They do lead the Dodgers 3-2. I don't want to butcher these pitchers' names. I'm a Cubs fan, but Yamamoto for the Dodgers will be on the mound playing. I'm going to go Gosman. That's what, Delaney, do you have any guesses on that?
I think Gosman, too.
Yeah, we like that. First pitch is 7 p.m. in Toronto. Again, our pregame coverage, though, will start at 6 p.m., which means if you want to watch our 6 p.m. newscast, you can find that right here on Fox Local. We've got you covered. I do think that I might try and watch this because, obviously, if the Blue Jays win, they are the new World Series champions, and it's always fun to get to see that victory, that game-winning moment. But if the Dodgers win, they will have tied it up, forcing a Game 7, and then whoever walks away, Game 7, the winner, they will have won the World Series. Very exciting stuff. Fox is also the place to be on Sunday because, of course, we've got you covered when it comes to the Packers. Brady was just saying he's a big Packers fan. We've got kickoff for you starting at 10, NFL Sunday at 11, and then your game will be right here on Fox 6 at noon. Make sure and stay tuned for a special edition of Fox 6 News afterwards. And, of course, Sunday night, 10:30, the place to be, Fox 6 for your sports blitz. We actually got to talk to Tim Van Voren, our sports director, earlier this week on the Wisconsin Live Desk. And he was saying on paper, this game against the Carolina Panthers, it should be a victory for them. You never want to get cocky. You never know what could happen. But hopefully it is a win. They are at home playing at Lambeau, which I have heard I need to go and catch a football game at Lambeau at some point. So we'll have to do that during my Wisconsin journey. Delaney, will you go with me?
Definitely.
Although we were going to go for a concert.
Oh, yeah, we were going to go for Luke Combs.
But then it was so popular they had to add a second night because the
I
first
saw
night
that.
sold out.
So
and
quick.
then I looked up and they were a
The
little
tickets
pricey.
are expensive.
Yeah. And
We might have to wait and see.
we may have to wait and see because neither one of us know every Luke Combs song. Like, I forget his last name is Combs, and I almost say Brian. So I don't feel like I should be paying full price for this.
Yeah.
But we would totally go.
We would go.
We love so many of his songs.
Yeah.
Delaney and I are hanging out tomorrow.
We are.
We're doing our second Tosa Takeover, which we haven't planned a ton of.
No. We don't really know, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them what we're thinking about doing?
We're thinking a Bucks game,
We're thinking a Bucks game
which would be fun.
because I'm the new #1 fan of the Bucks.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to go to one,
Yeah.
even if it's not tomorrow.
But
We'll have to find another one.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although we usually hit up Tosa. This would be leaving Tosa, so we'll bend the rules.
Yeah, we have to bend the rules.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a Bucks win. All right, I think we've got them all caught up on Halloween trick-or-treating, our Halloween headquarters. We know where to watch the World Series game and the Packers game on Sunday. They know to potentially find us at Fiserv tomorrow. Say hi to me and producer girl. And Delaney, I think we should probably take a break here on the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Yeah, we can take a quick break, see what's going on. We'll be back after this short break.
I love when Delaney does that.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk. It's Haley with you here at 1:27 as we get ready to do the second hour together here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. I do want to start by taking another live look here in Milwaukee, and then we're going to head to DC because we do have a little bit of breaking news to get to here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. But for starters, let's take another look outside. You can see some clouds now in the sky, but of course nice and blue for now. We are anticipating potentially some rain later on this evening, about 8 p.m. that could start. So make sure you get your trick-or-treating done before that. But my goodness, it's looking beautiful out there with Lake Michigan. I do want to get us out to DC. I'm going to take a picture here of the Capitol. As you know, we are on day 31 of the government shutdown. The government is still not funded. Democrats, Republicans really not seeing eye to eye. No one has been willing to compromise. They have stood firm in what both parties want. And a big concern has been the funding of SNAP. Obviously, that is for those who need help getting food on their table. Those were set to not be funded starting the beginning of November, which is tomorrow. Some breaking news just in. 2 federal judges have ruled nearly simultaneously that President Donald Trump's administration must continue to fund SNAP, the nation's biggest food aid program, using some of the contingency funds during this government shutdown. Obviously, they are still working to reopen the government and to get the government full fully funded. That's what we need the Republicans and Democrats to come to an agreement on. But in the meantime, they say SNAP must continue to be funded using the contingency funds. This does come just a day before the U.S. Department of Agriculture was going to freeze payments to SNAP, which again is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, because it said it could no longer keep funding it due to the shutdown. And if you're wondering just how big of a need this is here in the country, that program, it serves about 1 in 8 Americans. It's a major piece of the nation's social safety net. So word in October that it would be a November 1st shutdown sent a lot of states, food banks, and SNAP recipients really just scrambling. I know multiple reporters for us here at Wisconsin, or here at Fox 6, have been talking about their food banks really being emptied as people scramble to get a little bit of food ready for this. So this is a huge update coming out that this will potentially still be funded. Delaney, what time can we get to Jason? Yeah, our reporter Jason Calvi has actually been working on this story, and he's going to join us here on the Wisconsin Live Desk in just a few minutes. But I did want to get to that breaking news that if you have been worried about your SNAP payments ending tomorrow, they will not. As again, the 2 federal judges now ruling that they must use contingency funds to continue using those services, which, I mean, are used by so many people of all ages can benefit from SNAP. So this is a big update that I know is going to change a lot of stories for us here at Fox 6 this afternoon. Again, Jason's in the newsroom. He's been working on this. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get to him on the very latest of what he knows. So stick with us here on the Wisconsin Live Desk.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk. It is Haley with you for about the next hour until 2:30, and that's when Sam is going to take over and get you to 3:30. But if you were with us before we went to break, we were taking a live look here at Capitol Hill as breaking news did just recently come in that SNAP is going to continue being funded. This comes after 2 judges just made a ruling. It's actually the story that our very own Jason Calvi has been working on today. He joined us right as this broke here on the live desk, so I know you're still taking notes, working to get through this kind of new news. But what do we know, Jason?
Well, we know that 2 judges ruled at almost the same time on this very issue. There were lawsuits filed, including Wisconsin's Attorney General joining the lawsuit with other states challenging the Trump administration on these food stamps. The big question, right? The government's been shut down now. It's one of the second longest in U.S. history. And the question was, come November 1st, the food stamp money, that's SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Program, the money was going to be running out for that. So the federal government said as of November 1st, there wouldn't be benefits going out the door for people that received those food stamp benefits. And Democratic states, including our Attorney General here in Wisconsin, who is a Democrat, sued and said, well, you have a contingency fund. You have emergency funds for this. You need to use that because SNAP funding is mandatory. It's required by law. They went to court in several courts, and 2 judges simultaneously ruling almost nearly at the same time, ruling that, yes, the Trump administration does need to tap into these emergency funds, these contingency funds, to make sure that people that receive SNAP benefits do get them this month, this upcoming month of November.
Obviously, Jason, this has been on a lot of people's minds. Were we anticipating this news coming out today? Obviously, we knew about some of the lawsuits, but does this come as a surprise, or were people expecting this ruling?
Not a surprise that there'd be a ruling when there's an emergency situation like this. I was surprised because I thought maybe the ruling was going to come late last night, but here it comes at the last hour here. We're on October 31st, Halloween, the very last day that funding is in the pot for SNAP benefits. People have got their benefits for this month, and now that big question mark was what happens tomorrow. And we know locally that food banks, I was at one food pantry at a church on the north side today, and the pastor there told me, Steve Tipton, the pastor's name, he told me they actually saw a tripling of people coming to their food pantry this week in anticipation of knowing that those food benefits were not going to be there come tomorrow, come the new month.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, you were at these food banks. I mean, what does it look like right now? I would imagine with that many people going, it might be some empty shelves. I know people were really nervous about this.
Yeah, the pastor, and I asked him, would the nonprofit sector, the non-governmental sector be able to fill the gap if food stamp benefits had indeed run out in November? Potentially for 1 month, potentially for December if the shutdown continues. And he said at first they would be able to handle the need, but when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of people, we have 700,000 people in Wisconsin that receive these SNAP benefits, and we have about 90,000 people that receive women, infant, and children, the WIC funds. And so they thought maybe at first they'd be able to handle the need, and I checked out the food pantry today. They did have enough food on the shelves. But again, that emergency where people are really not knowing where their next meal was going to come, that was a big concern for these nonprofit leaders, these food pantries, and these churches.
And Jason, I'm curious, you just brought up WIC, of course, as well. I mean, does this ruling impact WIC, or do we still have to wait to see if that will continue being funded?
Well, this ruling in particular focuses on the SNAP question about whether or not the USDA should be using the contingency funds. The answer from the 2 judges in 2 different cases is yes, you need to use those emergency funds. The government had done something to fund WIC, and that was they were using tariff money to fund WIC, at least for the first part of the government shutdown.
Jason, this is obviously just a huge breaking news situation, a lot of work still to do, but I would imagine, what do you think, obviously you haven't spoken to the pastor since being there this morning, but what do you think the reactions are really going to be for those who provide this assistance and those who receive this assistance?
I think it's going to be a big relief for those families, for those women, those the mothers, children, as well as those getting the SNAP benefits as well. I think it's a big relief because, again, they were worried. You know, they're out there working. The one mother we spoke to today, she's a single mother. She has several children. She said she's working 60 hours a day to try to put food on the table. She does receive the SNAP benefits, and she was really worried come tomorrow what she was going to do. She said she was going to have to take on another job to work 90 hours a week in order, she said, to be able to provide food for her family.
Yeah, I think it's a good reminder, too. I mean, so many people really do benefit from SNAP, really people of all ages. So it's just good to hear that those who are worried about the simplest of things, putting food on their table, hopefully won't have to worry about that after this ruling. Jason, I know you are busy working on your story. I know this is going to change things up, so we appreciate you joining us here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. We'll let you get back to work.
I can give you some more data points.
Oh, give
Haley,
it to us.
Unless you've got another interview lined up.
We do not.
Really interesting. I mentioned the numbers in Wisconsin, 700,000 receiving SNAP benefits. 1 in 8 Americans receive these food stamp benefits. So it's quite a large number of people who receive these benefits. The program costs the federal government $8 billion a month to run the food stamp program. So we're talking about quite a lot of your tax money and quite a lot of people across Wisconsin and across the entire nation who benefit from SNAP benefits. Now, at least one answer for the government shutdown is there's an answer now, and that is those benefits are going to be going out the door, according to these judges.
Yeah, if it's $8 billion a month to fund SNAP, do we know how much money is available in these contingency funds?
The contingency funds, let's see, the federal government had in one of their, they have a couple different funds that we're talking about. Contingency funds, the administration said it wasn't allowed to use that contingency fund. That was what the whole court argument was about. They had $5 billion for one of the contingency programs. So again, we're talking about $8 billion a month. So $5 billion in one contingency pot of money. And the Democratic administrations that were suing, including our Attorney General here in Wisconsin, said they had to use those $5 billion, and the judges is indeed saying, yes, this is mandatory funding. You need to use what you have to provide these funds for people going to help them buy their food.
Yeah, obviously we still need the government shutdown to end to fully fund these programs for the foreseeable future. Is there any update on where we stand there? I mean, it just seems it's a little bit of a stalemate, Jason.
Yeah, it's a stalemate. I mean, both sides are digging in. I spoke with Representative Gwen Moore, who represents Milwaukee today, Democrat, and I said, you know, we've got the American Federation of Government Employees now coming out and telling Democrats and telling Republicans as well that the shutdown needs to end. You know, you've got all these federal workers out there who are not getting paid right now. And they said, Democrats, you've made your message clear. Republicans, you've made your message clear. Now it's time for, they said, Democrats need to pass the Republican spending bill to keep the government open. That was the ask of the American Federation of Government Employees. Usually more Democratic leaning of an organization now coming out telling the Democrats just get the government funded. We'll have the debates on health care later, they're saying. That's the sticking point for Democrats who say they have one stand here, and that is these Obamacare premiums that are going to expire at the end of the year. Without those premiums, enhanced tax credits in place, people's health care premiums under the Affordable Care Act, if you get your plan through the marketplace, they're going to probably in many places double or go higher than that. It's going to be a lot of sticker shock come tomorrow when open enrollment starts for these marketplace plans, Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, whatever you want to call it. Those plans, open enrollment starts tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of sticker shock. Democrats said they needed to really force this issue. So it really seems like both sides are digging in. It doesn't seem like there's any consensus about a path forward to open the government.
Yeah, when we talk about the government shutdown, I feel like some people might think, wow, this is going on for such a long time. It doesn't feel like it normally goes this long. And Jason, we're getting close to potentially setting a new record, right, for the longest government shutdown. We're day 31 here.
Yeah, next week we will pass that record, and it looks like right now that the government is going to be continuing to shut down. We're at day 31. We've just got a few more days left to reach that record.
Yeah, obviously just a lot to still cover here with the government shutdown. A little bit of good temporary news as far as those who need SNAP goes, but a lot to still learn. And we know you're working on this today. When are your stories airing on Fox Local?
I need to check in with the managers. I am expecting a report this afternoon. Maybe we'll be back on the live desk as we get more breaking news in. Wanted to jump in right away with this breaking news. This is what's great about the Wisconsin Live Desk. We can jump on right when there's breaking news,
right.
Bring it to you, break it down, give you the local impact. So happy to be on with you, Haley, and if I get any more updates, I'll jump back on.
We appreciate that. He really did just jump on right as it broke. You have your highlighter. You were working through all the information, and we appreciate you joining us. We'll let you go, Jason, so you can keep doing your job and checking in with your managers because we want to see your story in a little bit.
Thanks, Haley.
All right, thanks, Jason. Of course, that's the latest breaking news coming out of D.C. The government still shut down. As Jason was just saying, really there's been no movement as far as Republicans and Democrats coming to an agreement on that short-term gap funding bill. But the breaking news, as SNAP was set to not be funded as of tomorrow, November 1st, now 2 federal judges have ruled the Trump administration must use their contingency funds to continue to fund SNAP. And Jason was just saying it takes about $8 billion every month to fund SNAP. He said one of the contingency funds had $5 billion in it. So of course we have to go see how much more is available with this contingency fund. So some breaking news there on the Wisconsin Live Desk that we were able to bring to you rather quickly. I do want to just show you one thing we're monitoring here on the Wisconsin Live Desk, and this is a feed that is coming out of Pennsylvania. So Governor Josh Shapiro was originally going to announce new steps that his administration was taking in order to support those in need of food in Pennsylvania after the Trump administration was going to freeze that SNAP payments going on as of tomorrow. Of course, I don't think he's up yet because this is huge breaking news. Now SNAP will continue to be funded, so curious to see what he's going to eventually come out and speak on. I would imagine he will speak on this ruling. Delaney and myself are continuing to just monitor all of the feeds as we do anticipate hearing from different lawmakers and different politicians and leaders on this breaking news situation. And if and when they pop up here on our feeds, we will of course bring them to you here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. I know our very own Brett Lemoyne was going to join us in a little bit. Potentially that might change. Obviously, all of our reporters right now are dealing with this breaking news, but he was talking about one of those initiatives here in Wisconsin that people had to continue helping those who just needed some food on the table. So we'll have to see if we can still chat with him in just a little bit. But a lot of going on here on the feeds, and we'll keep our eye and let you know if and when anyone begins to chat about this. I do want to pull up, actually, we've got a live look here at the White House in D.C. Obviously, this is a huge breaking news story that deals with the Trump administration, but we were also hearing some updates that were coming out of the White House. Not as big of news as I would say funding SNAP is, but we did hear from the White House regarding some renovations. They've obviously been doing some construction here. We saw the East Wing get tore down last week as they continued to build a new ballroom. And as they were building that ballroom, they stopped all tours. A lot of people love to go through the White House. It's a historical building. So they did just announce that they are going to start doing tours again December 2nd. It comes after they were stopped for months due to that construction of Trump's $300 million ballroom. So they did say they're going to do an updated route, though, offering some new experiences because the old route did include parts of the East Wing, which again was torn down. So good news if you were going to D.C. and potentially wanted to see the Christmas decorations. The White House always gets pretty festive. Those will begin again on December 2nd. The other kind of new news as far as the White House goes, we did learn that Trump has renovated the Lincoln bathroom. That was renovated in the 1940s in an Art Deco green tile style. So now he has redone it in a black and white polished marble. Kind of interesting news that are coming out there of the White House. Of course, we are still going to monitor a few things. I have my eye on this feed out of Pennsylvania. You can see the cameraman there kind of adjusting his shots. Sometimes that's an indication that the speaker might be a little bit away, might be coming soon to the podium there. Again, it will be Governor Josh Shapiro. But again, I have a feeling that his speech has just changed drastically due to this big announcement, so he might be reworking that. And again, as soon as he steps up here, we'll of course bring that to you here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. But for now, we're going to take another quick break and look at some more things on the feeds, and we'll see where we're going to go here on the Wisconsin Live Desk after this. All right, we'll be right back in 2 minutes.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk this Friday afternoon as we kind of inch closer to 2 p.m. here. Obviously, we have been dealing with some breaking news the last 20 or so minutes, and we're having our first chance of hearing from some elected officials on their response to the Trump administration now ruling that the Trump administration getting a ruling from federal judges that they must use contingency funds to continue funding SNAP, which was otherwise set to run out of funds tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and listen in. Again, this is coming out of Pennsylvania. So let's listen in and hear what their reaction is to this pretty big breaking news.
See it, we feel it. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had families coming to the warehouse looking for food. Just today, one of my colleagues told me that a mother came to our warehouse in North Philly with 4 kids in our car asking for help. Pantries are seeing scared faces and longer lines. And this is happening at a time when we were already seeing record numbers. Our pantry partners are reporting 30% more increase here, lines doubled there. Dual income households are seeking support like never before. Meanwhile, food banks and pantries are left with less resources to meet the need. The Pottstown cluster reduced the amount of times people could visit from weekly to just once a month. Small Things in Fairhill is inviting neighbors to take 15 pounds of food, half of what they used to offer. The founder of Murphy's Giving Market is dipping into her own pocket to purchase food for families. And for our pantries, their shelves are bare. Let's be honest, if you look around, this is the emptiest this warehouse has been in 5 years. Now, Governor, you know the numbers. You know that for every meal that food banks like Philabundance provides, SNAP provides 9. That is why this looming crisis, SNAP lapsing for the first time in its 60-plus year history, is so concerning. Need is at record highs. Inflation is taking its toll on individuals and food banks alike. And we are still feeling the tailwinds of the elimination of pandemic-era supports. Yesterday at Philabundance, we hosted our Community Partnerships Day and invited the pantries, the 300-plus pantries who give out food for us, to come together. Robin, who you'll hear from later, was there. Desiree and Cindy, who lead pantries, were there. We announced that at Philabundance, we are redoubling our efforts and our commitment to our mission to drive hunger from our community. You see, we were founded on the belief that no one should go hungry, especially not in the greatest country in the world. We are increasing our food purchasing to provide 600,000 more meals each month for the next 3 months. And I will pause so you can applaud, because I think that's incredible. That additional effort is going to cost us about $1 million on top of what we had already planned to spend this year. And we're doing that despite federal cuts. We're doing that without the support we normally depend on from the Commonwealth due to the budget impasse. The Charitable Food Network, and many of them are here. I'll ask you to raise your hand if you're a part of that. The Charitable Food Network, okay, thank you. Governor, the Charitable Food Network is strong. But the reality is we can't do it alone. At Philabundance, our incredible board is with us, and they're here. My board should be recognized as well. And frankly, our community is with us. We are bolstered by the upcoming WMMR Camp Out for Hunger, which we know will bring food and funds to this effort. We are encouraged by the bold commitment.
Did just want to say, obviously we can tell there that the feed has frozen. We are going to stay on this since we can still hear the updates, and we're going to work to see if we can find a little bit of a better feed where the video will move again. But we are going to leave this up since we can hear what they're saying on this breaking news with the SNAP benefits now being funded using contingency funds, as federal judges just ruled moments ago.
We are heartened to have you, one of our biggest champions here today, reminding us that together we can GSD for the people of Pennsylvania. Governor Josh Shapiro.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon, and I want to say thank you to Lori, not just for the kind words. Most importantly, I want to thank you for your strong and steady leadership. I think you and I have known each other about 2 decades, and whether in government or working outside and alongside your partners in government, you always make a difference, and I'm grateful to you. And I'm especially grateful to your board that you recognize, but all those amazing workers and volunteers from Philabundance. Thank you, guys. I know how hard you work, and we're really grateful to you. You know, for over 40 years, Philabundance has worked to feed families in need, distributing more than 39 million meals every single year. I think that is critical work. I think that is beautiful work, and that work is happening, sadly, at a time where hunger and food insecurity is on the rise. I know that many people served by Philabundance also rely on food assistance support from SNAP, from the federal government. Here in Pennsylvania, I want you to understand this, 2 million of our fellow Pennsylvanians receive SNAP benefits. Let me put that in some perspective for you. I see you shaking your head back and forth like that. 2 million people receive SNAP benefits here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Our entire population in Pennsylvania is 13 million people. Roughly 1 in 8 of our neighbors here in our Commonwealth rely on SNAP. And since SNAP was created back in 1964, it has always been funded 100% by the federal government. But right now, because of the federal shutdown, 2 million of our neighbors here in Pennsylvania are about to lose their food assistance for the first time in the history of our nation. They have never had their benefits paused before until right now. This is all because the Trump administration has decided that it will not be issuing SNAP benefits for the month of November, which of course begins tomorrow. They made this determination even though they are sitting on billions of dollars of congressionally appropriated contingency funds. I want you to know that earlier this week, I sued the Trump administration, demanding that they release that contingency funding to keep our SNAP benefits flowing in the Commonwealth. I want to take a moment and thank Mike Fisher and Jacob Boyer from my team who joined me here, the lead lawyers in this case. And I want to provide you with an update that just occurred a few moments ago. The judge in our case ruled that the Trump administration must turn the spigot on and must release these SNAP dollars. That's an important win. An important win. And that is why we stood up and took on this fight and filed that suit. Now, there's 2 problems that we are concerned about. Number one, it's going to take about...
All right, if you're just joining us, we've been listening in. That is Governor Josh Shapiro out of Pennsylvania providing an update moments after learning that federal judges have ruled that the Trump administration must use contingency funds to continue to fund SNAP, which was set to run out of money as of tomorrow. You heard Governor Shapiro there say he was a part of that lawsuit that our very own Jason Calvi was just mentioning, something that Governor Evers was a part of in suing the Trump administration, saying you need to use those contingency funds. So obviously he is happy to hear that this is what was the outcome of that lawsuit and that this is the ruling. So of course we're going to keep our eye on this press conference that continues out of Pennsylvania. And I got to say, in the last couple of moments, we have really seen our ELCs, or our different channels, I should say, that we have access to here on the Wisconsin Live Desk really get active as we start hearing from different officials and lawmakers and leaders across the country to this breaking news update that SNAP will continue to be funded. Speaking of SNAP and really making sure that the community is fed, that is the story that our very own Brett Lemoyne has been working on today as well. He is joining us right now. He's outside of North High School in Waukesha, where the community, Brett, was really coming together to do something cool this Halloween, not necessarily asking for candy, but helping get some food for those in need.
Yeah, you expect, Haley, tonight that lots of trick-or-treaters will be out in the city of Waukesha and, frankly, all around the country tonight. But they're doing something really special here in Waukesha, and it's the Key Club here at Waukesha North High School. They are going door to door asking for food donations for the food pantry serving Waukesha County. We spoke with quite a few of them today as they're making some preparations and getting ready. They hope to collect more than 2 2,000 pounds of food for the food pantry just tonight alone, which is extraordinary. They've got a group of about 50 kids. They're going to be going door to door, breaking into like 10 different quadrants throughout the city, trying to find some donations. Now, they did give a flyer in the mail just over the last week to let families know that they would be coming so that people could prepare and have food at the ready when the doorbell rings tonight. But they're doing this for a very good reason, and that's because the food pantry serving Waukesha County is in need of these donations. We stopped over there this afternoon, Haley, and we spoke with Director of Programming, and he said 40% of the clients that they have at the food pantry are already receiving food share benefits or SNAP benefits. Now, the food pantry is supplemental to that. They don't provide food share benefits, but they supplement those programs. And so if money does not come in by tomorrow, like we've been hearing from these various press conferences that you were playing just before coming out to us, then they have a pretty significant problem. And the food pantry says they've already been getting calls from people in the last couple of weeks saying, hey, I'm new to this, but I see what's possibly coming down the line, and we're going to need some help. So they, and also, Haley, just as I refresh my notes here, because as you know, when I join the live desk, if I've got numbers, I want to make sure that I'm getting them to you accurately. They've seen a 12% overall increase in demand at the food pantry serving Waukesha County since last year. And they attribute that to grocery prices and the economy and whatnot. But so just again, to kind of recap that, they've already seen a pretty substantial increase in demand. They're bracing for additional demand. And these donations will certainly help them. One silver lining here, Haley, because you also know I like to have some positive news to share. In just the last 2 weeks, there have been 134 new donors to the food pantry and 25 new applicants for volunteers. So in other words, the community is stepping up to try and help, regardless of what the outcome may be come tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, Brett, as you talk about silver linings, I think what also really stands out to me about the story you're working on is these are high school students who said, I want to do something, I want to help out my community and those in need of food. I mean, were people that you talked to kind of surprised that this is the younger generation stepping up to help in this issue?
Yeah, I mean, even the advisor for the Key Club here, a guidance counselor at Waukesha North, said, you know what, these kids could be out partying tonight, right? It's a Friday night. They could be out having fun and celebrating the holiday, but instead, thankfully, they're out trying to help the community. And it's not just North. We don't want to just single them out. They're doing something extraordinary tonight, again, hoping to collect more than 2,000 pounds just in this one evening. But we were also told that there are other food drives. For example, Kettle Moraine High School, they got 8,000 pounds worth of food just last week that they delivered to the food pantry from their donations. Elm Grove has also stepped up to help out with a peanut butter drive. So there's a lot of young people that are out there that are helping out. There's a lot of new donors in the community that are helping out. But it's certainly a trying time for groups like the food pantry serving Waukesha County and others when they just don't know what tomorrow may bring. We spoke with them before the news happened here with those federal rulings. But we'll circle back with them and see if that kind of relieves some of the stress that they may be feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good reminder, you know, you're never too young to make a difference and to help out. I love that you're highlighting that this is not just one high school, but it's been all over the area, people stepping up in this time of need. I am curious, do you know how the students at North High School came up with this idea? I think it's so creative to reverse trick or treat. And I mean, they're making it so easy for someone to donate. They're coming to you.
Exactly, yeah. They've been doing this for 13 years. This is their 13th year doing it. I also noted, of course, 13 an unlucky number, especially on a spooky day like today. And they certainly acknowledge that as well. But yeah, this is the 13th year that they've been doing this. They have hit just over, I think 2,300 pounds was their top haul one year. They're hoping to top that this year because each and every one of those students knows that there has been a lot of uncertainty this year when it comes to food security, and they want to make sure that they deliver a record haul when it comes to the donations that they collect tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good when you can cover some good news here, which is what I think you could say for sure as far as these high school students stepping up to help their community. Brett, I know that your story, you need to go get some new information after this breaking news, so we will let you go. But thanks so much for joining us on the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, that's the latest coming out of Waukesha, where they are reverse trick-or-treating tonight to help get some food donations for the pantries that have really seen, as Brett was just saying, an increase in need. They've seen new people showing up, not just in need of food, but also to volunteer, which is so cool. When you aren't in a position as these families are, maybe you're confident that you can keep putting food on your table, and you say, but I want to help those who aren't. And then you can do that by donating food, by donating money, but also by donating your time. So I love that Brett mentioned that volunteers have increased in this time of need. And I just think it's so cool of those high schoolers to spend their Friday night going and collecting food for those in need. Again, if you're just tuning in, the big breaking news story the past hour here on the Wisconsin Live Desk is that 2 federal judges came down with a ruling basically at the same time saying that the Trump administration must use contingency funds to continue funding SNAP, which was set to run out of money tomorrow, November 1st. So we saw a couple lawsuits, one that Governor Evers had signed, one that Governor Shapiro out of Pennsylvania, who we were listening to a little bit ago, had signed, suing the Trump administration, saying you got to use that money. That's what this contingency funds are for. And again, 2 federal judges have agreed that that is what the money is for and that they must continue to fund SNAP, which again was set to run out of money as of tomorrow. A lot of people concerned about this, especially those, as Jason was saying, a single mom who already works 60 hours a week trying to get food on the table, potentially having to worry about working 90 if SNAP runs out. So a lot of really good kind of updates there as far as SNAP being able to continue being funded for those who are worried about it. I do want to get us back out to Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro is still speaking about this kind of breaking news development of the funding. So we're going to listen back in here.
Her, maybe for one of her grandchildren. These are real people. And we can't lose sight of that. With all the bickering and the fighting and chaos in D.C., we have to remember these are real people who need help. And that's why Pennsylvania is standing up to do this now. I know folks are worried. And I know that what we're doing here is important, but it can't possibly meet the full gap that exists. We're going to keep doing everything we can to pump more money into these food banks and help people in their time of need. And I just want to invite all of our fellow Pennsylvanians to do the same to help us here. And if you are someone who is in need, if you're wondering where you turn tomorrow when you don't get your SNAP help, I want you to dial 211, or I want you to go to pa211.org, and you can find a food bank in your area that's going to be receiving this extra help, and they'll have what you need to help you stay on your feet. Most importantly, to my fellow Pennsylvanians, I want you to know I got your back, and we're here for you. Thank you. With that, it really is my pleasure now to bring up Robin Perkins. She is not only a SNAP recipient, but a participant in Phil Abundance's Community Kitchen program, a wonderful person who just has like a warmth to her that I picked up on immediately when we got the chance to meet a few moments ago. I want you to hear from Robin. I want you to understand the impact these SNAP cuts are having. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Robin Perkins.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Robin Perkins. I was born and raised in Nicetown, Philly, and I'm currently a resident of South Philadelphia. I'm a student in Phil Abundance Community Job Training Program. Throughout life, I've utilized public benefits such as SNAP and WIC. I recently lost my job of 7 years in April 2025, but I had to figure out what I wanted to do next, so I connected to Phil Abundance's Community Kitchen. Throughout life, I've been a SNAP participant, both as a mother, raising children, and even now as a single woman and a student. I have close family members that utilize SNAP. I have been receiving communication on SNAP being paused because of government shutdown, and it makes me sigh and ask myself, what can I do? What SNAP means to me, as a person, I need to make tough choices when I'm going grocery shopping. What can I buy? Will it cover that? Now that entire resource is gone for the month of November. Last time I received benefits was October. I have $30 left that I'm holding on to for the holiday season. I want people to know why I think funding SNAP is so important. It's the only resource for obtaining food for some people. There are some people who have jobs or some who are unemployed that all use SNAP. I'm grateful to be part of a community that is coming together to pool resources and take care of each other. I really urge your support and more awareness and importance to fund SNAP. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Robin. I want to invite up Julie Bancroft, who does an amazing job of making sure these dollars get out to places like Phil Abundance and support our communities. Julie?
Thank you, Governor Shapiro, and thank you, Robin, for sharing your story and being here today. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I am honored to speak on behalf of our 9 food banks, which serve 1.7 million people each year, including nearly 500,000 children. Hunger in Pennsylvania has increased 44% over 2 years. While our food banks distribute over 237 million pounds of food annually, enough for 197 million meals, they will tell you it hasn't been enough to meet the need. And it absolutely is not enough on the eve of millions of Pennsylvanians facing the loss of SNAP benefits. Food banks are resilient and efficient. They serve as trusted community resources for neighbors facing hunger. Behind the scenes, they form the logistics backbone for nearly 3,000 pantries and feeding programs, helping distribute millions of pounds of food quickly to the areas that need it most. They are built for moments like this. However, we're facing a perfect storm of resource.
All right, if you're just joining us here on the Wisconsin Live Desk, we've been listening in out of Pennsylvania, where different leaders and government officials have been talking about this breaking news of SNAP continuing to be funded. As I mentioned, we've got a lot of feeds that are popping up right now around the country, and since this is such a big story, we want to get to another one. So we are hearing here from different lawmakers out of Texas regarding the government shutdown and the SNAP funding. So we're going to listen in here as well for a little bit.
On her couch right now watching this. What does that mean to her?
Okay. Yes.
In real words.
For those who may not have heard the question, the gentleman's question was, in layman's terms, what does eliminating the filibuster mean for the mom who is having some concerns with SNAP, or persons who are having concerns with making ends meet? Well, here's what it means. It means that on day one, they could have done this. And on day one, they could have prevented the shutdown. So they will now prevent the shutdown with a tool that they could have used on day one. I think it's important for me to explain how the filibuster works, and then people can see how simple it is, because it seems that many people are of the opinion that this is something that requires an inordinate amount of effort to get done. Here's what they could have done on day one, since they're now ready to do it, the president and some of his followers. Here's how they could have done it on day one. They but only had to bring the piece of legislation before the Senate. And when the legislation is before the Senate, some senator says to the presiding officer, I move that this legislation be passed with a simple majority. And the presiding officer would say, no, you have to have 60 votes. That person who moved for the simple majority would then simply say, I appeal the ruling of the presiding officer or the chair. I appeal the ruling of the presiding officer. When the person does this, if you are the party to prevail, then we move forward in the direction that you have proclaimed. So if the presiding officer prevails, you stay with 60 votes. But if the person who said, no, let's do it with a majority, meaning 51 or more votes, If that person prevails, then you literally would move forward with 51 or more votes. And to do this, you only have to have 51 votes. So if 51 votes prevail, 51 people vote to move forward with that piece of legislation, then it would move forward without having to have 60 votes, which is what we have to have now. 60 has become the magic number to get things done in the Senate, it seems. You would eliminate that 60 vote rule. People would never have suffered all of the indignation and humiliation that they're having to contend with now. People could have gone to work, received their paychecks timely. All of this would be avoided if they had done that on day one, which they knew they could do on day one, but they decided to wait until the crisis was in full blossom so that they could blame Democrats and say, well, Democrats are the reason we're having to do this now, when they could have done it on day one. Now, to validate what I'm saying, when the Supreme Court had a vacancy and the Republicans wanted to put Gorsuch, Justice Gorsuch, on the Supreme Court, Justice Gorsuch couldn't get the 60 votes. What did they do? They made the motion that I just called to your attention, that a majority prevail, a simple majority, and avoid this cloture with 60 votes. And lo and behold, Gorsuch was placed on the Supreme Court with less than 60 votes. I believe the vote count was 54 to 45. He was placed on the Supreme Court with less than 50 votes. That's because that was important to them. It was important. If the welfare of the American people was important as putting Gorsuch on the Supreme Court, they would have done this on day one. But it's not. The welfare of the American people is not that important. It's getting the power to do what they want to do. They know that once they eliminate the filibuster, as the president wants to do it, then they can rush through all kinds of things that they want to do. But this was a clever way to get to this point where they can do it and blame Democrats.
Alrighty, if you are just joining us, we have been listening now to some leaders talk out of Texas on the latest with the government shutdown. We've been following kind of a myriad of different lawmakers' responses here from this big breaking news. We do need to take a quick break here on the Wisconsin Live Desk, but when we get back, we'll have more on this news that SNAP is going to continue being funded next month, as well as get you ready for a couple things that might be coming up here on the Wisconsin Live Desk in the next hour or so. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk. It is 2:18 this Friday afternoon, this Halloween afternoon, which if you are going trick-or-treating tonight, make sure and stay safe. Of course, we have our Halloween headquarters on Fox Local that has everything you need to know, from trick-or-treat times to safety advice to where to go for a last-minute costume to maybe a haunted house if you wanted to go into those, which I do not like scary things. Delaney, are you a haunted house girly?
I do like going to them.
No, absolutely not. That is not for me.
I don't know. Sometimes it's so fun to be scared like that because you know it's not like real.
No,
but
your brain can't tell the difference. I was reading something about scary movies today, and they said your body doesn't know the difference.
Really?
Yeah, they did say there could be some health benefits to that.
Oh, interesting.
But
I think they're fun to go to.
I've never done one. I did go to.
You've never done one?
No, I did go to Six Flags, and I was there when Fright Night started, but I was like, I'm out, bye. And I don't know if I could do it.
No, I've never been to the Six Flags Fright Night. My friends have. They've said it's fun.
My friend Kate said what she does is just try and like get the performers, like surprise them, catch them off guard. So when they come up and they get in your face, they're trying to scare you, she'll go, "You're so pretty. I love your makeup." Or like, "Oh my gosh, your dress is beautiful." And then they just like lose the fun of it and they walk away.
Oh yeah.
So the one time we
That's
were there,
fun.
we just started complimenting left and right as we made our way out of the park.
That works.
Yeah.
Then you don't get scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy solution.
I thought so. I think that's why I like Twitches, because it's not a scary Halloween movie.
That's true. It's a good one.
It is. Again, I'm probably putting it on tonight. Or no, I said Hocus Pocus. Gosh,
Either are good options.
I ran out of time. I should have been watching Halloween movies like all week long, and now I'm like, oh, I should do it because it's Halloween and it's.
Now there's too many to watch in one night.
I might just go Twitches.
But
Hocus Pocus can be next year.
Twitches is always good.
It is. It is. Well, hey, we are monitoring a few things here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. One thing that we're checking out is this feed right now, which in about 24 minutes should be the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch. It is going to be launched from Vandenberg Space Force Base, which is out of California. So I'm sure Delaney and Sam will keep their eyes on this feed and try and bring that to you live. I always find rocket launches just so fascinating. I mean, I'm a little bit, oh, Delaney, look at what they did to us. Right as we took that feed, it became a feed of the White House. Okay, well, maybe they won't be able to bring that to you live then because they just changed that feed. So we'll keep our eye and see if it pops up somewhere else closer to 244. Although I was going to say, I'm curious Delaney's thoughts on watching those launches. As a nervous flyer myself, sometimes I just think about what could go wrong, and that's where my head goes. Delaney, what about you? Do you like those launches?
I think they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. As a nervous flyer, I'm always thinking about, like, what if?
Right.
But
they launch so fast.
They are
it's
so
such
quick.
A fast process.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to bring up before I head out here, Delaney and I had so much fun getting to spend time with Brady Kais, who, if you missed it, is a banana ball party animal player who is joining us in the sauna, which is what I have lovingly renamed our Wisconsin Live Desk closet. He needs your votes, so I wanted to put up, he's a talented relief pitcher who does different trick plays. This was him. He said juggling. And you see, it works. They get the out. That's the third baseman throwing it to the first baseman. Oh, the juggle resulted in an out. The Party Animals are such a fun team. They were the first kind of main opponent of the Savannah Bananas, but the league has now grown to, I think it's 6 teams. They're adding 2 new teams this upcoming season. So that is so exciting. And he needs your help, though. He wants to be redrafted by the Party Animals. So for the very first time ever, there is a fan draft, but it does close here in about 4.5 hours, 7 p.m. Central. So what you're going to do, you can go to Brady's Instagram. Just type in his name right there, Brady Kai. Or I'll put it on my Instagram story once I'm done here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. But you go and you do have to fill out voting for each team, which right now there are 4 teams. So you're going to have to vote for the Bananas, the Party Animals, the Firefighters, and the Texas Tailgaters. So if you don't know players, just fill out 3 of them. He says they're all great guys. They all deserve your vote. We just really want to make sure we get party animal Brady Keiss selected because we want him to be able to stay a party animal, born and raised here in the Milwaukee area. And if you missed it, Banana Ball is coming to Milwaukee next summer in June. The party animals are going to be playing at AmFam, where obviously the Brewers normally play. They're taking on one of the newer teams. And he really wants that moment of getting to play, you know, in the stadium he grew up going to, in the baseball team that he cheers for, home field. So he wants to make sure that he stays a party animal. So we're going to vote for him, all of us. It's super easy to do. Again, I know it's a little confusing if you don't know Banana Ball and you don't know some of the other players, but just pick 3 and make sure you get to the party animal selection and you choose Brady, because otherwise what happens is they'll be drafted later on and he could potentially go to a different team, which is still so exciting. He just loves being in, you know, Banana Ball, but the party animals are the ones that are playing here in Milwaukee in June. So we really want Brady to stay there, especially because he said he would come back on the Wisconsin Live Desk. So we definitely want that, don't we, Delaney?
We do. That would be a lot of fun to have him back.
It really would. What was your favorite part of that interview?
I think when he taught you one of their dances.
Oh, do you want me to
fun
help
to see?
Do you want me to help you teach it?
Oh, I guess.
Do you want me to help you teach it? That's
Learn it? I knew what you were going
my
for.
grammar near the end of the Wisconsin Live Desk.
It's a Friday.
We start with our right arm, and you pump this one twice.
Should I do? Oh yeah, I can do right.
You had it the right way because we're facing the same direction, girly. Right. And then we do 2 on the left, and you go the middle 4 times. Also, my mic is making crazy noises. Please hold. I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay. And then we put it together. He said it goes to Party Rock Anthem, but we'll just do it. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Right arm, left arm, in the middle. Right arm, left arm, in the middle. We are party animals.
We could be on the party animals.
Delaney, I'm telling you, when they come in June, hopefully our boy Brady is still on the team, and maybe we'll figure out a way to get some party animals to come teach us more dances.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, hopefully we're also maybe in a bigger studio.
Then we can fit a couple more.
We fit more, and maybe it won't be as hot.
That's true.
But that was so fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Our first live guest. That was so nice that he joined us and gave us the inside scoop on all things Banana Ball.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to learn.
Yeah, he did an Elvis impression.
Oh, I forgot he did that. That was a good one, too.
He said the sideburns were real.
He did.
People thought they were fake. They were real. Very exciting. Do you think we should probably go over the forecast for people who are getting ready to be going trick-or-treating?
Let's check out the forecast one more time.
Let's do that again one more time. Sam might want to do it too, Delaney.
Well, I just mean for your hour.
For my 2 hours. Thank you so much, Delaney. I hope there's some Banana Ball players out there for trick-or-treating, whether that be Savannah Banana, Party Animals, Texas Tailgaters. I can't remember where the firefighters are from. Please hold. Banana Ball firefighters. They are... Oh, I think they're just the firefighters. Oh, so I had it right. That's why I didn't know. Anyway, let's get to your forecast, you guys. If you're going trick-or-treating today, it's going to be, I feel like, oh no, it's just stayed the same. I thought I got colder. We're good. It's going to be 52 degrees at 4. By the time you're kind of in the middle of trick-or-treating at 6, going to be 49. It actually looks like the rain chance might have gone slightly down since the beginning of the Wisconsin Live Desk. That's good news, but it is really chilly come 8 p.m., 44 degrees. Obviously, it'll be dark out by then, so you're not going to get any heat from the sun. So I would probably recommend going trick-or-treating earlier rather than later, which if you need the reminder, here are those times for you. So Mequon, you can go trick-or-treating between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Cudahy, you can go trick-or-treating also 5 to 8. In Racine, you get 5 to 7. Milwaukee's a little bit different. They start at 5:30 and then they go till 7:30. I don't know if I think I need more than 2 hours, Delaney. I love trick-or-treating. I loved. Let me put that in past tense.
I know, I loved trick-or-treating. I feel like it was always 2 hours.
Yeah, you know what?
But it doesn't feel long enough. Like if you're trying to get a bunch of candy, the
Yes.
2 hours doesn't feel long enough.
No, I completely agree. I would say, now that I think about it, it probably always was 2 hours because you do get tired of walking, and we're in the Midwest, so you do get cold. So that's actually probably the perfect amount of time. You just want to hit as many houses as you can because you want as much candy as you can.
Yeah. Never was able to hit as many houses as I wanted. What about you?
So growing up, I was in a neighborhood where the houses were they were far apart. So we didn't hit that many. But I think that everyone knew that. So they would put together like almost little bags of goodies.
Oh, that's
So
really nice. So you got a little bit more candy.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We were definitely like also that like king size neighborhood, which was always nice when you get a full candy bar.
Those were the best neighborhoods.
Yes. I think people probably came to our neighborhood for that. But
Probably.
I told you, we had a dentist in our neighborhood who gave out genuinely toothbrushes, and that was it. And I was like, sir.
No candy with the toothbrush?
That's what we said. I would have actually loved the toothbrush. Well, maybe not at 11. Now, if you give me a toothbrush, I'm so grateful. I keep it for when I have guests at my house. But I think you should give the toothbrush and the candy.
Yeah. A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Okay, cool. Favorite candy?
I love Twix.
Are you a right side Twix or a left side Twix? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know.
Do they make them differently, or is it all just marketing?
That's what I wonder. I don't know.
We'll
have to look into that.
You judged my favorite candy in the newsroom earlier today.
I did.
Yeah, it was Sour Skittles. I love Sour Skittles. I always forget how good they are. I was talking about how I went to that Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party last weekend, or last Friday, a week ago. They had Mars candy, which is Skittles. So I got like one tiny pouch. That's a lie. I got two of these little Sour Skittles. And I was reminded how much I love them. So then I came home and bought like a big bag from Target.
I like Sour Skittles. I just prefer like Sour Patch to Sour Skittles.
They're both good. I would be equally happy if you gave me a Sour Patch Kid. I just think that I like that when you bite, you can like bite into a Skittle, and it's like I don't know, like the hard candy with the sour is just a little bit better than the squishy sour.
I get that.
This is why you tune into Wisconsin Live Desk, because as Jason says, we bring you the breaking news the minute it happens, and we dissect each other's favorite candy, which Twix, Delaney, you need to do better. That is genuinely the most boring answer.
I like them. They have everything.
Okay,
chocolate,
I have
caramel,
great news for you.
a cookie.
I have so many Twix from that Halloween party. I will be bringing them to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've just won yourself probably a month's worth of Twix supplies.
Interesting. Good to know.
Good to know. Good to know. All right, hey, Delaney, it's been so much fun hanging out with you. Sam is in the wings. He is ready to take over, get you guys to 3:30 here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. Delaney, of course, I'm going to ask you one more time to do me a favor.
We'll be back after this quick break.
Thanks, Delaney. See you guys Monday.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hi everybody, Sam Kramer checking in on this Halloween Friday, October 31st. Thanks so much for joining us right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. This tool on Fox Local that allows us to check in on anything, just about everything that is happening in our area, in the state, in the nation, even internationally. And boy, do we have a lot of news for a Friday. Perhaps none bigger than involving the government shutdown. If you missed it, 2 judges, one of them being out of Massachusetts, federal judges, have decided and ordered this afternoon that the Trump administration must provide and actually use billions of dollars in emergency contingency funding, even though the government is shut down, to continue to fund the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as SNAP. For those of you unaware, it's been a huge story over the last couple of weeks when food banks started to realize that their coffers were going to go dry here come November 1st. The reason for that is this program, which is administered by the states. In Wisconsin, is known as Food Share. It's administered by the states. It is completely funded by the federal government. Here in Wisconsin, 700,000 people rely on this program to provide food on the table. I believe the numbers from the state indicate that about 230,000 of those people are children. So these are low-income families. It allows them to pay for groceries. And it's not just whatever they want, willy-nilly. It is a very certain list of things. For instance, dairy products, meat and poultry, snacks, non-perishable items, that sort of things to a degree. It cost the state $114 million to run that program just for 1 month, so it's a little more than $1 billion for the year. And nevertheless, a lot of people concerned about what was happening with the government shutdown. We actually did the story last night on FOX6 News at 9 and 10. We went to Bayview Supermarket in Bayview and talked to the staff there who say, look, they can feel the stress every time a SNAP recipient comes up to the checkout counter because they're not sure when their accounts are going to be replenished. So that judge's order, which we'll dive into here over the next hour, again, requires that the Trump administration tap into this emergency account, if you will, that has tens of billions of dollars saved in it, to be able to continue funding SNAP so that low-income families can get access to food. Nationwide, it costs about $8 billion to run this program, and so that's a big deal. It's kind of really the big trigger point. If you look at this government shutdown from a political standpoint, there always has to be something that is used as leverage. As unfortunate but realistic as that is, SNAP had been kind of that leverage point. So I was talking with political reporter Jason Calvi, who I know has been on here over the last couple of hours. It's going to be interesting to see where the shutdown now goes. It is the second longest in the history of the United States, and this was kind of that trigger point, that leverage point. So with that kind of handled and taken care of, remind you, every senator and a representative in Congress is still being paid through this shutdown. What are the other forces that are going to push both sides to the table to say, let's get this figured out? That remains to be seen, and that will be a big story moving forward again as we approach the longest shutdown in the history of the federal government. I want to loop you in on some food banks that are nevertheless still going to be busy because, again, just because a federal judge signed off on this, it still is going to take some time to set into motion that money, and nevertheless, look, so many of our neighbors need help in this. So the Milwaukee County, the city and the county have teamed up for a community-wide food drive to really just help families that are navigating this uncertainty. So if you are wanting to help, you can donate at the list of places on your screen: Milwaukee City Hall, the Milwaukee County Courthouse, any Milwaukee public school, and also any of the Milwaukee Police Department's 7 districts. They would be, again, welcoming you with open arms because this is such a serious situation, though federal judges did just decide it today. It is Halloween, after all, October 31st. A lot of folks will be out trick-or-treating. The big news, at least in the city of Milwaukee, is that its official trick-or-treating is happening tonight. We've heard from some parents a little bit trepidatious about this, perhaps, worried that it's going to be happening on an evening, but Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson actually released a statement yesterday saying, look, parents deserve a day off. So if we get this actually on Friday, those parents get to take part in that, and they can actually rest, kick their feet up, and enjoy a Sunday not having being spent on trick-or-treating. So in Milwaukee, I believe it's from 5:30 to 7:30. There you see it at the bottom of the screen. But also, City of Milwaukee isn't alone. City of Racine from 5 to 7, City of Cudahy 5 to 8, and Mequon as well 5 to 8 tonight. So if you haven't gone yet, I know a lot of cities and neighborhoods did it last weekend or even during the week. But nevertheless, Friday, expect to see those trick-or-treaters out and about. So that brings us to my next question. What's the weather going to be like, right? Let's take a look at that. Here's the latest trick-or-treat forecast from the Fox 6 weather experts. At 4, it's 52 with a 9-mile-per-hour wind out of the west. Gets to 49 at 6, 44 at 8. Have to tell you, as somebody who grew up in this area, you'll take that every single time, right? There's no precipitation, no rain, no snow, and yes, that is possible this time of year. And the winds really aren't too bad. So if you did not, if your child or loved ones in your family going trick-or-treating did not plan for sleeves with their costume, probably still have to have a layer, right? A vest, a jacket, light jacket, what have you. Probably want a little bit more as the night goes on, but nevertheless, this forecast could be way worse, and we know that because we have been through this. No doubt about that. So those are really kind of the big stories that we are following, especially getting back to SNAP, the federal government shutdown. That money was set to expire on Saturday. And here in Wisconsin, food share isn't just paid out on the 1st of every month. It's actually, it's oddly specific based on a digit in your Social Security number. So if you're somebody that is receiving SNAP, this food share as it's known in Wisconsin, you have to look at your Social Security number. The digit in that corresponds with the digit of the day of the month that you will get that money. So let's say that digit is a 4, you would receive your benefits on the 4th. It's oddly specific, but nevertheless helps to stagger that payment of $114 million. So it's not to say that a lot of people were looking at this tomorrow saying, well, now my money's going to be gone. Certainly that's a part of it. They don't know. And that's kind of been the frustration, is the uncertainty of, is this program going to be replenished, or the funds are just going to be frozen? And again, we're going to look at the judge's opinion and go more in depth as to why she made that decision, talking about the federal judge, an Obama appointee out of Boston. But nevertheless, super important decision. Again, it's going to keep eyes on this, because you have to imagine that with the red tape that governments are known for, that this is going to take a little bit of time to play out. So nevertheless, we will, again, it seems done, but the story is not done in any which way, and we'll keep tabs on that. So keep it right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. We are also, actually, you know what? So look over here. Nope, sources aren't up yet, but there is a SpaceX launch that's supposed to be happening in the next couple of minutes. So we're going to keep an eye on the sources, and if we get that, we will bring it to you. But we're going to take a quick break right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Good afternoon. Sam Kramer back with you on the Wisconsin Live Desk. It's hour 3 on this Friday, October 31st. Yes, it is Halloween. Happy Halloween to you and yours. If you're going trick-or-treating, we just went through the forecast. Maybe bring some layers with you, if you will. But nevertheless, it looks like it's a pretty good weekend on tap from the FOX6 weather experts, especially knowing how bad it can be this time of year. You really just kind of roll the Rolodex. It could be snow, it could be sunshine and warm, or it can be very fall-like as we are seeing today. Big story on our air tonight is Game 6 of the World Series. I know, maybe you're like me, haven't gotten over the fact that the Brewers aren't in it, but nevertheless, the World Series marches on. And here we go. It's Toronto, the Blue Jays, versus the LA Dodgers. The Blue Jays actually lead this series 3-2. So it is Game 6 tonight in Toronto. If they win, it's all over. If the Dodgers win, it forces a Game 7. Some argue those are the best 2 words in sports. But I think a lot of people would like to see, at least in Milwaukee, the Blue Jays just finish it tonight. It's Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers, who has been lights out for LA. He's thrown back-to-back complete games, the first against the Brewers in Milwaukee, and the second against the Blue Jays earlier this series. He's going up against Kevin Gausman, who has really kind of been Toronto's ace, as the Blue Jays are really just looking to end this tonight. You can imagine all of Canada will be behind the Blue Jays. And if they're not, they're going to be inside Rogers Center, where that place is going to be rocking tonight. First pitch is at 7 o'clock at Rogers Center. We got all the coverage on Fox. I believe coverage starts at 6. So if you're watching on and are expecting, asking what's going to be on broadcast side, I believe our 4 o'clock and our 5 o'clock will be on broadcast. So over the air on Channel 6, and then our 6 o'clock news will be right here on Fox Local. Our 9 o'clock news will be right here on Fox Local. Our 10 o'clock will be live on the air after that game, and post-game coverage are done. Looking ahead to this weekend, Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, it's the Packers taking over our air right here on Fox 6. They play who I'm assuming to label a pesky Carolina Panthers team that doesn't get a lot of coverage, doesn't get a lot of perhaps respect from the critics and the pundits in the NFL and all the big networks. But they've been good. They've been surprising. They beat the Cowboys earlier this year. It's been a good team, and they march into Lambeau trying to knock off Jordan Love and the mighty 1-loss, 1-tie Green Bay Packers. Best record because of that tie in the NFC, the only team with 1 loss. So Fox NFL kickoff starts at 10. NFL Sunday starts at 11. It's a noon kickoff. Then join us for a special edition of FOX6 News after the game. I was just checking my email for the plan on that, which was just sent out. Tim Van Voorn is going to be at Lambeau Field, as he always is, and talking to players right after that game, as he always does. Lily Zhao is going to be in the locker room for us. Brandon Cruz will anchor our coverage in studio. And then, of course, the Fox 6 Sports Blitz later on in the evening, 10:30, where Brandon, Lily, and Tim will really just kind of dissect that game as a whole. Imagine they would talk about the strong start from the Milwaukee Bucks as well. So, big sports weekend. Looking forward to all of that. And really, how lucky are we that so much of this is on Fox 6? Again, the World Series tonight. I believe Game 7, if necessary, would be tomorrow. We will see if it is necessary. Again, I think a lot of people, at least in the Milwaukee area, if you're a Brewers fan, you're probably rooting for the Blue Jays to get this done, to knock off the mighty Dodgers, and just take care of business and perhaps avenge the Brewers, who were swept in the NLCS. I feel like it hurts my heart every time I have to say that, but nevertheless, that is what happened. And boy, end of a mighty season, that is for sure. I'm looking around at the sources here. We're still waiting on a SpaceX launch. This had been at least previously planned for 2:44. 6 minutes past that now, it's 2:50. I'm looking at our sources. We don't have anything on that just yet. So we will check with SpaceX to see if that has been officially delayed. But when we come back, we want to take a closer look at the federal judge out of Massachusetts order on SNAP, why she is ordering the Trump administration to actually pay up here, use the emergency contingency funding it had on hand to continue funding the SNAP program, which has been alive for 86 years. It has never been suspended. It looks like it will stay that way because of this judge's order. Stay with us. You're watching the Wisconsin Live Desk.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
There we go. Welcome back. It is the Wisconsin Live Desk, 2:53 on this Friday, October 31st. Happy Halloween to you and yours. So glad you're engaging with us right here on Fox Local. I wanted to take some time, if we could, to kind of peel back the curtain, so to speak, on the SNAP situation and why, if we can get the why, as to federal judges decided to order the Trump administration to use the contingency emergency funding to continue paying for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's known and why perhaps states and food banks have been scrambling over the last month is that first, there's a change in guidance from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, of which this SNAP program is underneath that umbrella. So SNAP, which had previously been known as food stamps, goes back, again, 86 years. It has a long history in the United States. And in each prior government shutdown, it has continued to be funding. It has never been suspended because it is relied upon by so many people, 42 million people. So I want to take, let's pull up one of those first full screens of the judge's order. Here we go. So she's pointing to first that USDA published a, quote, lapse in funding plan on September 30th, 2025, in which it affirmed that SNAP operation should continue in the event of a government shutdown and that, quote, multi-year contingency funds previously appropriated by Congress could be used to fund SNAP benefits if needed, close quote. So that gets to the fact that these 20, and again, this is a lawsuit, this order deciding a lawsuit brought by 25 states that are led by Democrats. Wisconsin joined on to this lawsuit as well. And so they are saying, look, you already have contingency funds set aside that were already appropriated, meaning that they were already budgeted for. That money is already in the account. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to spend it, so to speak. But the guidance from the USDA changed. The order goes on to say on October 10th, USDA sent a second letter to state SNAP agencies in which the USDA warned that, quote, if the current lapse in appropriations continues, there will be insufficient funds to pay full November SNAP benefits for approximately 42 million individuals across the nation. Again, 700,000 of them in Wisconsin. So that is why there was sort of this frenzy at food banks in state governments. For instance, in Wisconsin, it is the State Department of Health Services that administers this. And so, they're making urgent pleas to donors, if you can, to, support your local food banks, make donations if you can, and just be aware of the situation that if you are lucky enough to have enough funding to be able to feed yourself, your family, you may not even know this is happening, but nevertheless, people are going to be in a situation where they are going to run out of money for food. And as I'm scrolling down here, looking at this order, I'm trying to get to more so the explanation. She's decided that, yes, they have standing. Let's see here. Keep scrolling down. And the judge agreed with one of the points brought in the lawsuit that the Administrative Procedure Act, which is a law that Congress has passed, requires and mandates the use of these previously appropriated SNAP contingency reserve funds I should say, when necessary. And they argue that, yes, this is definitely one of those times when that use is necessary. Let's see. Sorry, folks, doing this on the fly. Previously appropriated $6 billion. So again, it's a lot of money at play, as we talked about in Wisconsin. It's $114 million a month. It is certainly not cheap. The state does have surplus in the area of $4 billion. We had reached out to state lawmakers to see if they would consider using some of that money to fund this program in the meantime. None of them got back to us, but it is nevertheless a sticking point between Democrats and Republicans, both at the state level and at the federal level as well. And as I look down here, tell you what, we'll continue looking at that and bring in some more of those quotes from this judge as we move on here in the third hour. As I'm looking around, not a ton happening out there today, Delaney. Why does this always happen on Fridays?
Right? Always on Fridays.
Yeah, nevertheless. Let's see. Oh, got the White House. Yeah, I don't know why. Let's just take a look at it, huh? They've got the Sphere up here. There's a costume party, it looks like. This is in Las Vegas, for those of you that are unaware. Some sort of showing today. 10:45 to 1:45, Halloween costume something or another. Let's see, we got Router 3, that's the White House. How about the color there in Washington, D.C.? Again, the negotiations, the conversations surrounding this government shutdown, do they continue? The Senate's out for the weekend. The Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, who I've actually interviewed several times, having worked in Rapid City, South Dakota in my first market, long before he was Senate Majority Leader. He was very animated earlier this week with Democrats on the Senate floor before any of today's SNAP rulings came down, essentially accusing them of only caring about this now that 42 million people relying upon the federal government for getting food on the table. Only then did he decide that, okay, now they care. So, let's see, as I continue to look around at the sources. Oh, we had talked earlier about the World Series. And it looks like right now we've got a couple of Blue Jays taking to the mic in their pregame media availability with the reporters gathered. Let's take a listen in.
Day is second to none. I've never experienced that from a coach. The passion, and obviously when you have that type of passion, you tend to really learn about your craft and learn what it takes, and he's helped all of us for sure.
Got Alden and Steve in the second row.
Hey, Bo. Knowing Vladdy for as long as you have, how have you seen him evolve as a leader for this team this season, and I guess particularly in these playoffs?
I mean, I think he's always had great leadership qualities. The effort he plays with, the work he puts in, all of that. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just growth and, I mean, in his life. He's older, more mature, but I think it takes someone who desires to get better as a leader to make those growths, and he definitely has.
Go to Steve.
When you walk in here today, is there any thought in your mind that this might be the last time you put on a Blue Jays uniform or put on that cap or that kind of thing?
I mean, I'm trying to win a World Series, so I mean, I'd be lying if I hadn't thought about that at some point during the season, but I got a World Series to win.
Got Mike in the second row on your left, and then Pete.
Just how happy are you with your decision to come back and play here?
I mean, I don't know if it was a decision. I think I just got to a point where I was healthy enough to do it, and I'm super grateful that everybody believed in me to be able to come out here and produce, and I'm just enjoying every minute of it.
And as you head to free agency, what are your thoughts about Toronto and your memories here? Obviously, could be a great one written in the next day or two here, but just to this point.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey. I've obviously grown up here in so many different ways. It's the only organization I know, but I'm not really looking at the past. I got some pretty important stuff ahead of me right now.
Standing against the left wall, Gregor.
Bo, you've obviously been waiting for a moment like this for a very long time. Players of your caliber wait for free agency for a long time, too. Just wondering how you kind of grappled with those two things of knowing that you were trying to get back for this World Series, but knowing that there potentially could be a risk that if you came back a little bit early, that it might kind of set you back for the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's the World Series, so none of that stuff really matters, to be honest. I'll put it all out there for this, so there was no tough decisions in it.
Was there anybody in your life, like coaches, family, agent, who was trying to tell you to slow down a little bit and think about the off season, or were you? And if so, kind of what would you tell them when they would say that?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of people telling me to take care of myself for sure, and I mean, even I had that mindset a little bit, but I mean, to have an opportunity to play in this series is, I mean, this is a no-brainer.
The fourth row straight ahead, Pete.
Bo, as somebody who came from a baseball family, what does this mean to you to have the opportunity to win a World Series?
It's incredible. I mean, everybody tells you, especially my dad, never had an opportunity to play in a World Series. So, I mean, your whole career, everybody's telling you don't take winning for granted, but you have to learn that for yourself. And, there's been a lot of times where I thought we would win, and we didn't. So to be here and to learn from past seasons is special to be here. It's something I'll never take for granted. And also, I will look around the clubhouse and see what we did right, and I'll learn as much as I can from what this group does on the field, off the field, and see if we can do it again.
Stay right there with Gabe.
Bo, what's it been like to watch George prepare so hard to try to get back? And then what will it mean for you guys to have him in the lineup tonight trying to win this thing?
Yeah, I mean, he means so much to us. The experience in these moments, what he's already done for this team during the playoffs has been just so big for us. And, I think having him in the lineup probably calms us all down a little bit.
Back right corner.
Just wondering what Don Mattingly has brought to this group and what he's meant to this group.
Yeah, I love Donnie. He obviously brings a ton of knowledge, experience, a drive to win. I mean, I think this means as much to him as anybody in that clubhouse, being in this moment, have an opportunity to win a World Series. And then, I mean, when you talk about calm, he's about as calm as it gets, and I think that rubs off on everybody. So he's had a huge impact.
The left center aisle in the back, Jamie.
Bo, in Canada alone, they're anticipating an audience that could push 10 million people tonight. Have you ever pondered the impact that you've had on so many people?
No, honestly, but I'm hoping that we can win one more game and we can kind of take a step back and see it. But yeah, I mean the numbers this World Series is doing, not only in Canada but everywhere, is unbelievable. I even had to kind of take a step back and be like, dang, this is pretty cool.
Up front, your left, Bo, Ron.
What have you learned from having Max around all year, and what has been his impact on the team and the culture in the clubhouse?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's been great in the playoffs so far on the field, but he's brought a ton. I think we've all learned a lot from him. I think he's had a huge part in, bringing us together. Obviously he's the oldest guy in there, but he brings everybody together, always trying to have fun, get camaraderie, all of that. I think he's shown a lot of us what being a team is.
And on your knee, is any work needed to be done on it in the off season, or will it heal by itself?
It'll heal by itself.
Second row up front, Jeff.
When you saw George in the Seattle series get hit in the knee, and Nate in Game 1 fell off the knee, and Ernie's playing banged up, did that kind of give you an extra motivation? I got to get out there even if I'm not 100%?
That was always the expectation for myself.
Third row, your left, Bo.
Bo, how do you prepare to face a pitcher like Yamamoto, who had so much success in Game 2?
Yeah, great pitcher. He seems to, he has a ton of weapons. Seems to have trust in all of them. He seems to be able to kind of do what he wants with all of them. So, we got our hands full. I think we'll kind of just have the same approach we've always had, is meet the moment. So if that means getting run over, getting a runner in, being patient, being aggressive, whatever that means, we'll try to make those adjustments during the game.
Did you notice a difference because you faced him late in Game 2 versus trying to get at him early?
Did I notice a difference, like, in my at-bat?
Yeah.
I saw two pitches and they were both the same, so I wouldn't say I had much of a day against him.
We'll go to the back with Shy.
Hey, Bo. How would you compare your process of execution these few games of World Series to maybe your previous experiences in the postseason?
For me individually?
Yes.
I'm not sure how much different. I think I have a lot more experience in my career, so I think I have the ability to slow the game down when needed. But in terms of preparing, in terms of, what I'm trying to do out there, I don't think much different.
Do you feel different in any way because of that experience?
Yeah, but I think I feel different probably because I haven't played in 2 months, but yeah.
Fair.
A bit further to your left.
Hi, Bo. You just mentioned you just saw two pitches against Yamamoto in Game 2. Do you believe that plays in your favor? How do you take that for today?
No, I don't think it probably has anything to do with today.
Other questions for Bo? Standing on your left.
Hey, Bo.
We'll just get you the microphone. Sorry.
Okay. Hey, Bo. So I'm Richard Trapansky. I'm here from Billboard Canada. I just want to know, if you win tonight, what is going to be your victory song that you're listening to?
I don't know. That's not something I've thought about. I'm a huge Bieber fan, so to see him in LA was cool. So maybe we'll rock some JB.
Nice, thank you.
Other questions? Anything else for Bo? All right, Bo, thank you so much for making the time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good luck tonight.
Oh, didn't mean need to do that. There's Delaney. I was going to bring up the other box, but nevertheless, okay, Delaney, let's play off that last question there. What somebody from Billboard Canada asked Bo Bichette on the eve of perhaps the biggest game of his Major League Baseball career. What song are you going to celebrate to?
Oh, I don't know. What would you celebrate to?
I don't know. I think he played to the home country by saying Justin Bieber, who was at a game in Los Angeles that they said. I don't know. As I look down to my Spotify here,
hey Juan, how you doing?
I'm curious who else. I still got the audio up from that. Let me take that down. There we go. I'm looking at who. I don't know. I kind of would go for some variety, probably some Daft Punk, which is a throwback, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But nevertheless, whatever is going to be loud, bumping, etc.
Right.
I feel on the spot, and I wasn't even the one answering that question in front of everybody. Any answer from you or no?
I don't know. I feel like Justin Bieber, he has some good songs. Can't go wrong there. I don't know. I agree. Something like exciting.
Exciting, like Queen comes to mind. Like,
oh, yeah.
Just kind of these ballads that everyone, like it's kind of going to be like karaoke in the clubhouse afterward,
oh, definitely.
right? When everyone's going to be popping champagne if they win tonight. And nevertheless, but I think that's so interesting, and we kind of saw it some in Milwaukee too, with all the press that come to cover these massive sporting events, of just the variety of questions, and kind of who's in the room to ask these questions, so to speak.
Yeah, always exciting to see.
Very exciting to see. Okay, so we are still tracking a number of stories here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. When we return, there's been a decision about a man who died at the Milwaukee County Jail earlier this year. This was back in March. We're going to run you through what happened and the decision from an outside agency when we return right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hi everybody, Sam Kramer back with you right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk, where we have just received a piece of breaking news from the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, which says that actually the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office has concluded its investigation into the death of a person who was in custody at the Milwaukee County Jail back on March 15th. His name is Joseph Boyven. He was 49 years old and was actually arrested in Shorewood, again, on March 15th. He died at Frederick Hospital 3 days later, and the DA's office, from a letter from the DA himself, Kent Lovern, says that the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office determined the cause of death to be a brain bleed caused by blunt force head injury that was sustained before his arrest on March 15th. Date of the injury is believed to be March 11th. The final manner of death was determined to be accidental. So the letter from the DA goes on to say that they found no basis for criminal liability on the part of any employee who was working inside the Milwaukee County Jail. Nevertheless, the Sheriff's Office is going to conduct its own internal review to ensure that all of its relevant rules and policies were followed by jail employees who were in contact with Boyven to determine if any if any employee should be subject to further investigation. We also have a statement from Milwaukee County Sheriff Danita Ball, who says, while we appreciate the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office investigation concluded that Mr. Boyven's death was not caused by criminal actions of any MCSO employee, this is not an occasion to celebrate. She continues to say, a man died, and we offer our condolences to his loved ones, close quote. So, Mr. Boyven, the first of, I believe, 3 people to die in custody at the Milwaukee County Jail, who was booked into the jail, I should say, but he died at Frederick. So that counts statistics-wise as an in-custody death. And so this is ruled that, again, was accidental, related to an injury he sustained actually before he was arrested. And so it's, actually, I want to run through these dates one more time. So they say he suffered this injury, which was a blunt force head injury that actually caused a brain bleed, on March 11th. He was arrested on March 15th, and he died at Frederick Hospital on March 18th. So he was taken from the jail to the hospital based on his condition, I would imagine, and that is where Joseph Boyven, the Shorewood man, died. This does not indicate why he was arrested in the first place, what he was arrested for, that sort of thing. So if we do get that information, we will pass it to you right here on Fox Local, on our website, fox6now.com, and of course, on the air on our newscasts as they come. So I want to take a live look outside. I'm going to switch gears a little bit as we come back here. It's Halloween, it is Friday, and nevertheless, it's the weekend, right? A lot of people looking forward to get out and just enjoy the weekend. As I look at here, let's take Route 4. This is the Marquette interchange where the sun is setting. Things are looking good so far. Traffic not too bad, at least right there. Well, I guess I take it back. Southbound, that would be 43 coming through. Yeah, southbound 43. Starting to slow down a little bit. It is after 3 o'clock, so it is kind of Milwaukee rush hour, so to speak. That is kind of starting to slow down just a little bit as we look around at what else we have going on. A lot of places going to be trick-or-treating today. That includes the city of Milwaukee. Look over downtown right now. Things are quiet, calm. Weather is comfortable. And if you are going to be heading out trick-or-treating in Milwaukee, again, the hours 5:30 to 7:30, we've got good news for you. The forecast is a treat. Here we go, trick-or-treat forecast. 4 o'clock, it's going to be 51 degrees, so just a tick cooler than it is right now. As we're looking live here, Holly must be building her graphics. I wonder if that's still the game of the week, Martin Luther at Whitnall. Might be, it might not be, but as we go back, there we go. So it's going to be comfortable. You might need layers. You don't necessarily have to rethink the entire costume. That is the good news for parents who might be worried about their little ones. Navigating the cooler temperatures going on trick-or-treating on a Friday night, but nevertheless, it is going to be a good weekend. Great for those trick-or-treaters. And if you missed it yesterday, the mayor, Cavalier Johnson, defending his decision to allow and set up the official trick-or-treating on Halloween itself, even though it's a Friday night, saying that, yes, parents deserve a day off. They deserve the opportunity to enjoy their Sunday and rest a little and not be running, chasing their kids every single day of the week, he says, as a smiling and happy father, I'm sure. So something that we are paying attention to. Actually, our Abril Preciado is working on a story about safety, and not just for trick-or-treaters, but given what happened last weekend, I should say, on Brady Street, the Milwaukee police actually had to shut down the street because of so much activity spilling out into the street. Wasn't safe for people trying to pass through there, or just bar patrons hanging out. So she's going to have that story for us on the air at 4, 5, and 6 today. And we're certainly looking forward to that. But again, really just hoping that everybody has a safe and wonderful weekend. So we come back here. Let's see, we got 9 minutes. I think we'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll just take another roundup of everything that's happening in the area, on the stories that we're working on both locally and nationally, as we get you ready for Halloween weekend right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. We'll be right back.
This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
We're back. Sam Kramer back with you right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. It is Friday, October 31st. Happy weekend to those of you that do not work on Saturday and Sunday. Wish I could join you, but nevertheless, someone's got to be here, and that someone is me. We're wrapping up the third hour here of the Wisconsin Live Desk, where we're checking in on everything, and there's been a lot to talk about, particularly pertaining to the federal government shutdown. We'll get to that in a minute. Something that we haven't touched on are some of the other events that are happening this weekend. That includes China Lights. It's the final weekend of the China Lights Lantern Festival, today through Sunday, November 2nd, at the Berner Botanical Gardens. Guests are invited, I should say, to celebrate Halloween. So come in your costume. There will be trick-or-treating. And again, if you haven't seen any of the photos or videos that we've had from China Lights when we've told these stories on the air, both in advance of the opening of the Magical Forest this year and then just getting to check it out ourselves, it's a beautiful backdrop and just a really interactive experience for the whole family to enjoy today, especially, again, with the trick-or-treating. So if you got a costume, if you're looking for maybe your city or neighborhood already did its trick-or-treating, here's a place for you to go, the Berner Botanical Gardens, for the China Lights Lantern Festival. Let's talk about trick-or-treating safety because it is something that is on the mind of a lot of parents. We heard from some in Burlington last weekend that said, yeah, don't really want to go trick-or-treating on Friday nights when you got young kiddos and adults are, working on getting out and blowing off some steam from the week. So how about some Halloween safety tips? First, be visible. Choose light-colored costumes or, if they have anything that with blinking lights. Costumes have come a long way over the last several years. Reflective tape as well is always a good thing. You should always use sidewalks, crosswalks, traffic signals. If it's not an option on your streets, just make sure that you're paying attention. Look where the cars are. If cars are coming by, it's always a good idea to just get out of the way. You can't always assume that that driver is going to see you. Which plays to the last part. Stay alert, stay off your phone, especially if you are a parent that is going to be walking with or supervising your kids, somebody else's kids, is just be aware. It's always that moment. It's what they always say. When you think that you have it all under control, you think that someone's watching, that's when things happen. So just be careful. Be immersed in the experience and just be those extra eyes and ears for those kids who are no doubt going to be excited and looking for all the best candy they can get. Talked about it over the last couple of hours. The big story that affects every state in the nation today is that 2 federal judges ordered at the same time that the Trump administration must use contingency funds to continue funding the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, which is SNAP. This is food share benefits here in Wisconsin, the program that allows low-income families, low-income individuals as well, to buy groceries. It helps them put food on the table so at the end of the day they can survive, they can continue living. This has created a bit of a frenzy over the last month or so for food banks, for states that administer these benefits, again, operating under the assumption that come tomorrow, November 1st, the federal funding for those programs would be frozen because of the ongoing, now in its 31st day, I should say, federal government shutdown. But today, a judge ordered that the Trump administration must use this funding. It argued that it could not use this funding, but no, the judge interpreted a law that says this money has to be used in circumstances like this. That being said, we know there's red tape involving government, so we are going to keep an eye on that situation and how soon people still receive those benefits. Will it be a couple days later? Will there be any sort of delay? Or could it be a week or so? We don't know. That's something that is going to be developing and kind of a domino effect that comes from something like this. At the same time, food banks, they are asking for your help. Earlier this week, the city of Milwaukee, Milwaukee County organized a countywide food drive. So here are just a few of the sites where if you would like to help, if you'd like to pitch in, do your part, so to speak, you can do so. You can take that food, non-perishable items, things that are going to be safe to be stored to Milwaukee City Hall, the Milwaukee County Courthouse, any and all Milwaukee public schools, as well as any and all of the 7 Milwaukee Police Department districts. They would be welcoming you with open arms and thanking you for your donation to help neighbors you probably maybe don't even know, but you never know how far that can go. I saw a stat earlier today. $25 to your local food bank can actually support about 100 meals. So that's a really big impact. $1 4 meals, that is a huge impact in our community and no doubt something that we're going to be paying attention to this weekend. Let's take another look outside. As we do, it is looking nice, looking comfortable. Sure, it could be sunnier, but hey, we'll take a little bit of overcast. Makes the pictures that are no doubt going to be happening tonight for everyone trick-or-treating a little bit easier to take. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. Have a great weekend. See you next time.